Hmm. Howdy, howdy. Oh, we have our first guest already. Let's bring them up. We did just start. This is quite fast. Unwanted Sponge, how's it going?
My bad, I didn't mean to request up. You can drop me. I'm sorry.
Sponge?
So, hello?
Oh, I can't hear you for whatever reason. One sec.
Sorry.
Oh, it's because my headphones are not connected. One sec, this is my end. My bad. Try again.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, Sponge?
Good. I'm doing good, man. I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to request up. Have a good one, man. I'm so sorry.
You're good, take care. It happens. Alright, now my headphones are connected. And my mic is connected. Oh, one sec. I have to go let my cat in. One moment. Sorry, my wife didn't sleep last night, and so I'm trying to let her sleep. And my cat was screaming, so... Jacob, let's use our critical thinking skills. If I say flat Earth is dead, with laughing emojis, why would I be a flat earther? It's fine, Jacob. Just encouraging critical thought. You're fine. Somebody just, sorry, maybe that was too mean. I'm sorry, Jacob. That was perhaps mean. Now I feel bad. You didn't do anything wrong, Jacob. RB,
Dr.
how's it
Blitz,
going? RB.
how are you?
I'm doing A-okay, RB. What shape do you think the Earth is?
It's a triangle.
I don't think that you think that that's true. All right, we'll give it a few minutes, and we'll let people trickle in. We did just start. We are, only 3 minutes into the live stream. I've been married for like 7 years. This isn't news, TR. Like, I don't know how you missed the memo. It's okay. My audio's delayed? That's interesting. Maybe it's just on your end. If anybody else has anybody else been noticing this? Midnight Coffee, how's it going?
Good.
Midnight Coffee, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's flat.
Why?
Okay, you get a cup of water. If you
And a
get
water
like
bottle.
a cup, and then you pour water, it's like, and then the water settles is flat.
Well, except the edges. The edges kind of curve up, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I think it's flat. And then I seen like seen a video on YouTube.
But what about the meniscus? Do you know about the meniscus?
I don't know what's a meniscus.
How old are you? Midnight Coffee?
20.
Okay. Did you take like high school chemistry or something?
I failed chemistry.
Oh. Yeah, well that checks out. Anyway, this is a meniscus. See that? What's that water
I
doing? See how it's curving? It like curves up at the edges.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So like water isn't flat. So what do we do with that information?
Damn, I don't know.
All right, Midnight Coffee, I'm going to let you go, but thanks for being here.
All right.
I think he just wanted to have somebody to talk to. Fitz.
Hello. How you
Fitz,
doing?
how's it going? I'm doing
Pretty
okay.
good.
Fitz, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Recently, I've been playing with the idea that it might be flat.
Why?
So mine stems mostly from, first stems from a biblical standpoint, but then I use what I can see in front of me to keep, proving to myself that it is flat. What I can physically see for myself, not what NASA or somebody else tells me.
So can you see a sunset?
I can, yes.
Okay, so why does the sun look like it goes down?
So if we're talking from the curvature standpoint, they say, okay, we're spinning around the sun and we're moving away from the sun. That's why it sets. If we're looking at a flat Earth description, the sun is not it's just, how can I say this? If you take a bulb and you go around a corner of a house, you're not going to have the light throughout your entire house. You're going to only have it around that corner.
So are you telling me that the sun goes underneath the Earth?
No.
So then what's the corner?
If you pull the sun away far enough from you, you're going to lose that light.
Well, that might be true, but will it ever go down like a sunset does?
It won't. So that's what we perceive because of what do you call it? The mirage effect.
You think that every single night it's a mirage?
What I think every single night it is the sun is pulling away from us, and I've seen videos of people zoom in on an horizon where you can't see anything, but all of a sudden you're seeing a boat, a buoy, or a yacht,
Well,
people fishing.
Why are we talking about boats when we should be talking about the sun?
No, I'm trying to explain to you the horizon. So I'm saying,
well, I'm trying to understand the sunsets, like how sunsets are supposed to work on your view. Because look, my issue is merely that you say that you go based off of what you see, but then you say, oh, well, it only looks like that because there's an optical illusion happening. But then it's not based off of what you see.
It is.
If it was based off of what you see, then then you should believe that the sun goes below the horizon, not that it just goes far away.
Well, okay. No, that's a very good wordplay. I like that one. It makes sense what you just said. I've never been to space. I've never witnessed the Earth round. I've never witnessed the moon or the sun being in space or anything of the sort. They said that we landed on the moon and all these different things. I think there's a reason for question, and that's why I'm questioning. That's why I started the conversation by letting you know that I'm dabbling with the idea that it can be flat. I am not.
When you say that you've never been to space, you've never seen space, like. That only is true if you start from the assumption that stars are not in space. But if you don't know where stars are, then you can't say that you have never seen space, because maybe stars are in space and you're seeing them.
Can I share? I'm gonna share something with you real quick.
Yeah, sure.
I wasn't born in the U.S. I was born in the Caribbean, and when I grew up there, I saw specific stars in the sky. When I moved to different parts of the world, the U.S. and Korea, I looked up in the sky. I'm like 16, 17, and I can see the exact same stars that I saw in the Caribbean, in Europe, in America, and that didn't feel right to me. But I went along with.
Korea's not in Europe.
No, I'm saying I've been in Europe. I've been in Korea, and it's the same night lights I'm seeing, the same stars.
Yep. That's because you're in the northern hemisphere the entire time. Have you been to the southern hemisphere?
I've just the furthest I've been is the equator.
So I've been to the southern hemisphere, and you don't see the same stars. There's no the North Star is nowhere to be found.
How did sailors know how to pinpoint themselves? We don't have any new stars.
They didn't use the North. Look, I've been there. There is no North Star in the southern hemisphere. There is a southern constellation. It's called the Southern Cross. It's not exactly due south, but it's close. And so, like, I imagine that they probably use that, but you don't need the North Star in order to navigate using the stars. You can use other stars. As long as you know what the date is, then you can use other stars because you'll know where they will be.
Okay. All right, I'll look into that one. I've never heard of that before, but I'll definitely look into that one and see where that takes me.
It's definitely something to think about. Like, why can't you see the North Star in the south? But Fitz, if there's nothing else you want to talk about, I'm happy to let you go here.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.
Take care. Some people genuinely are trying to figure out what's true, what's not true. I don't know if he's one of them, but we'll see. All right, let's bring up our next guest. Panache Punch. Oh, never mind. They canceled their guest request. Look, so there are how many people watching right now? Something like roughly 1,000 between platforms, between the 3 platforms that we're streaming on. And we currently have nobody in the guest request box, which is fine. We did just start like 10 minutes ago. However, if you think that the Earth is flat and you're watching on TikTok, where there's 700 of you guys, feel free to hop in the box. I'm not going to bite your head off. Too tired for that. I'm happy to talk to you guys and, you know, figure out what you believe, tell you what I believe. We can compare evidence. We can have a reasonable conversation. In the meantime, let's read Super Chat or two. From Tim Davidson with the $2, curve is stored in the balls. Curve really is stored in the balls. It's true. And from Atomic Aerials with the $5, what do flat earthers like on their word salad? Thousand Lyland and quack pepper. That's funny. Quack pepper is funny, right? That's funny. All right. Well, we'll give it a few more minutes. We'll let some people trickle in. Where's link to join chat? So currently, actually, you know what we can, no, I can't do that. That will absolutely, you know what we'll do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to try it out. I'm going to add a private, Lilith, if you're watching, can you, over the next few minutes, because we have some guests on TikTok, can you add a private guest room where I can send people to Discord if they want to join to have a conversation from YouTube, and then I can integrate that into the live stream? If you can, that'd be great. If you're watching, Lilith.
Yo.
Illy isn't funny. How's it going?
I accidentally pressed the button. Sorry.
You're good. Lilith, please. Is Lilith not here? No. 26 Ghost, how's it going?
So thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think the flat Earth is dead.
You don't think the Earth is flat? What shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty flat.
Okay. So give me just 1 moment. Sorry about that. I just got to jot something down. So look, you think it's flat? You think it's flat because it looks flat, or is there anything more to it than that?
I know it's flat.
Okay. So.
And there's an impenetrable firmament up in the atmosphere. Space is not real.
So
I know we use like
Ghost.
really precise scientific technology like spectroscopy with light to measure the existence of celestial bodies in space, but that's all a lie, because there's an impenetrable firmament made out of fluid up in the exosphere that we cannot leave. We do not have the technology to penetrate it. That's why a dolphin can't go to space.
You gotta be trolling me, right?
The water. No.
No? Sorry, 1 sec. I just have to set something up. So, usually, when people know things, they have reasons how they know them.
Just trust me.
Okay, I'll just trust you. Thanks for being here, 26 Ghost. I'm pretty sure that was a troll. By the way, I'm going to give me just a few minutes, guys. Don't run away. I'm going to set up a quick voice chat on Discord that should be hidden for everybody except for guests, and then I can send out I will send out links to join the Discord server. I just need to make sure that when people join, they join muted. And then we'll bring up our next guest. Muted. Okay, so everyone. Okay, there we go. This permission is disabled. Disabled. Okay, that might work. Let me just double check, and then I can send this out to people, and hopefully I'm just going to paste it into the YouTube description really quick, and then we will be able to hopefully get people from the YouTube live as well. So give me a quick moment. Join via Discord, link, save. And then let's just go add that to the, or to the vertical stream. Sorry, y'all. I'm just making sure that people can join from YouTube as a temporary measure. And then, because they'll be able to join from a Discord link. It might work. Let me join there. I think that we should be okay now. So, all right, let's accept our next guest. This is from TikTok. Wubby, how's it going?
Yeah, hello?
Wubby, how you doing?
Yeah, good. So just to be clear, do you affirm the proposition that the Earth is not flat?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Can you go ahead and give the argument that entails the truth of that well-formed formula? Go ahead.
Wubby, are you trolling me?
Sorry?
Are you trolling me, Wubby?
No, I'm just looking for an argument, slow boy. You want to try one more time? By the way,
Yeah,
Max
okay,
Planck is better than Einstein, just to be clear. Max Planck is the GOAT. But yeah, can you go ahead and give the argument?
Okay, he's trolling. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, one sec. Here's the link. I just sent the link to the people, to the mods, so then they can send the link. That should work. Like, that was clearly a bit, right? Just Peachy, how's it going?
Hey, I'm don't know if you'll let me stay up. I'm not opposition at all, but I just have a question to ask.
Be quick about it, and then sure.
Okay. Where did they get this theory that the Earth is flat? Can you quickly?
There's a guy
explain
from.
that?
There was a guy in like the late 1800s, who, for whatever reason, wanted to promote the flat Earth. His name was Samuel Rowbotham, and he wrote like a short book on it, and it's basically been like a random conspiracy since then, but it picked up in like the 80s and 90s with Usenets as people figured out found out about Samuel Rowbotham's book. That's where it came from. It didn't really the idea didn't really exist in like
All right. Well, thank you for
public view
answering my
since
question,
then.
and I'll let you take opposition. I'm just going to sit back and pay attention to.
Of course.
All right. Thank you.
By the way, Discord mods, or any mods really, if you guys could, or I guess YouTube mods, if you guys could check that the link works and takes you into the private guest channel, that'd be really good. Let's talk to Frankie G. I just need one person to check. Frankie G, how's it going?
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Frankie, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Oh, I think it's demonstrably level. And I'm
think
not
it's
an expert on it, but
when you say demonstrably level, you mean like it's shaped more like a plate than it is like a basketball?
No, just pretty level. Yeah, I don't see the curvature, and I've never seen curvature, so it's yeah, a lot of the theories. What I'll give you the 3 or 4 things that I think about. That the ground isn't moving. I never feel ground move. Water.
Sure, but you're on the ground, so why would you feel the ground move if you would move with it?
There's never a group. If we're spinning, you don't feel any spin. So the ground.
Look, so Frankie, I understand that like a lot of these things are like kind of counterintuitive. Oh, there's some echo. Are you like on speakerphone or are you on Bluetooth or something like that? Because I can hear myself. The link should take people to specifically a voice channel. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I can still hear myself.
Is that okay now? Yeah. Let's see.
Testing. It sounds okay now, so I think that we're okay. We good? Can you hear me?
You can hear me, yeah?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the first argument I'd have, which is
Well,
as
right. So let's
sort
talk about
of
it.
flat earthers, that the ground isn't moving. It's
right. So
I've never seen ground move with the spin of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah. So Frankie,
it's never been videoed by anyone.
So Frankie, first of all, you're on the Earth, so you're not going to be able to see the Earth moving because you will be moving with it if it is actually spinning, right? So you kind of wouldn't expect to be able to like film the Earth moving if you're on the Earth. That said, we do have video of the Earth spinning from like distant spacecraft. Would that be convincing to you, or do you just think that's fake?
No. Most of the stuff from space is CGI, and most of the stuff in the 70s and 80s is clearly CGI.
But then you can't
it's
say
hard to take.
You can't then say that, oh, you've never seen a video. You have. You just don't think it's real.
Yeah, but the majority of them have been disproven as CGI. A lot of them videos have been seen as CGI.
How did you disprove them, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I didn't. As I said, I'm not an expert. There is experts on the field of flat Earth, and that there's guys that know an awful lot more than me. But there is basics.
So can I share something?
Yep.
Okay. This is taken from the Galileo probe. This is in the 1990s.
Yeah.
The right-hand side is just an AI image, but the left-hand side, this is obviously sped up, but this is a video of the Earth rotating.
Yeah.
And like, what's fake? Like, how do you know it's fake?
Yeah, but there's a lot of things about, did they go to the moon? Did they not go to the moon? That's a huge discussion.
But this doesn't have anything to do with the moon. This is like a separate thing.
Yes, but
it's the Galileo spacecraft.
Yeah, it has to do with the space. If that was the case, there's never any video footage of.
I did show you footage of it. You just don't believe it.
No, I'd be honest with you. I can't even see the footage on my phone. I'm just, as I said, called a boomer in these times, so I don't have all access.
Can you see your screen right now?
Yeah, I can, but it's blocked. I have. I see it now. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll play it again.
Yeah, please.
Oh, I'm hearing the echo again. So here's the footage, sped up, of course. Right, like, what's wrong with it? What's fake about it?
Yeah, a lot of that, with the blue marble and stuff like that. There's a lot of theory on that as well, with the guy who makes the blue marble pictures for NASA, and I don't have his name, but there is a guy who does that, and he says he makes it with composites, so it's very difficult to believe what's true and what's not true with that.
Are you aware of the fact that there are 2 blue marbles?
4 pictures, I thought, with the blue marble that have been made.
Well, I'm familiar with 2. So the one that's a composite is the one from like 2002. The original blue marble, the 1972 blue marble.
Hold on, you'd admit that that's a composite, then you'd admit that.
Yeah. So that was taken from a whole bunch of. So they basically took a whole bunch of satellite pictures from far too close to the Earth. They weren't far enough away to get it all in one picture. They took a whole bunch of close-up pictures and then stitched them together. But the 1972 blue marble, that's not a composite. That's just like a single photograph.
But there's different coloring and all in that, isn't there? It's very dubious, to be honest with you. That there's, I hear what you're saying, and
what's dubious about it?
Well, the coloring is different in that photograph, isn't it?
What do you mean the coloring is different? Let me show you the
It's
photo.
not the same.
Here. This is the photo.
Yeah.
It's the unedited blue marble photo taken by the crew of Apollo 17.
Yeah, but that's
So-
if you believe they went to the moon. You see, that's another discussion. And
Right,
that,
but the point is that here's evidence, and you're just like, no, I don't
yeah,
think
but
it's
their
real.
evidence. It's not your evidence. It's their evidence. That's
Evidence
the problem.
belongs to everybody.
Yeah, if it's true, but it's only. It
So
can
then-
also be
so
that
then
that's
what's
fake
the,
as well.
What's
you
the
know?
evidence that it's fake?
Well, there's a guy called Bart Sibrel. Have you studied him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
What
an
do you think of
embarrassment
him?
to mankind.
Yeah, but that's easy. Say you haven't done all his research.
Literally nothing he has said about the moon landing is correct.
Yeah, but okay, listen. Whatever he's saying, I mean, you have to calling him that names is not really. That's just in my book. That's not intellectual. He has an opinion, and he's done a lot of
His
research.
opinion, like his research, is based on misunderstandings of optics, misunderstandings of light, and misunderstandings of gravity.
But he has done research, and he has a lot of smoking guns in what he's done. There's a lot of questions with how when he found that cassette and he played it with.
But wait a minute, Frankie, that's not your evidence.
No, but that's something that is out there.
So
that
why
is,
do you believe
research.
that, but you don't believe something else?
Well, if you go back steps further and you go via what they talk about with Admiral Byrd and the Antarctic, and you talk about
Of course
who
we're
set
going
up
back
NASA.
there.
Yeah, but that's where it starts. You mentioned
Admiral
it as
Byrd
well
didn't have
yourself
anything
in
to
your
do
own
with NASA.
discussion. No, he didn't, but he had a lot to do
So
with
why bring it up?
saying that he found extra lands outside of
Did he though?
Antarctica.
Did he actually say that he found extra lands outside of Antarctica? Do you know what he actually said?
Well, it is stated somewhere there that he has said that. Yeah,
Here,
if you study him, he said he.
I'm familiar with the quote. Let me show you something.
Yeah.
It's like you guys all have the same talking points because I can predict them. It's like I have them pulled up. So Admiral Byrd he said, there is left in the world today live video. Okay, I gotta kick you, Frankie, because you're not complying with TikTok, whatever. Sorry, it's not your fault. You can come back later. That's annoying. The live was just restricted because Frankie G does not comply with our community guidelines. That's annoying. I don't know why. He didn't say anything wrong. Somebody must have reported him, which is annoying, but because we were about to make some progress. I don't know. TikTok just does this sometimes. So, by the way, just as a request, if you want to join and you're watching on YouTube, try clicking the Discord link and see if it takes you into the the appropriate live chat. In the meantime, let's bring up Carl Weezer. Carl Weezer, how's it going?
Hi.
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 All right, let's talk to Big Boys Doing Fine. I mean, it's just a Discord link, so there's nothing particularly unsafe about it. Big Boys Doing Fine, how's it going?
Great, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing A-okay. Should I call you Big Boy?
It doesn't matter.
All right, I'm going to call you Big Boy. So, Big Boy, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm undecided, actually, but I'm leaning more towards flat Earth because I still don't understand the water, how water can stick through gravity, but yet how can it be upside down on a ball?
So,
if I could stand up from my chair right now with my own force, gravity's not pulling me down, but you're telling me it's pulling millions of gallons of water.
It is pulling you down. Why do you think that, like, okay, you seem like the kind of guy that goes to the gym, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that, like, you know, if you do enough step-ups, or if you do enough, I don't know, like leg presses or whatever, it becomes a struggle to stand up, right?
I mean, I'm not doubting that there is gravity. I just don't see how gravity is pulling millions and millions and millions of gallons of water down to
look, gravity does two things, or it depends on two things, right? There's the mass of the thing that's doing the pulling, which is Earth, and Earth is really big, that affects the strength of gravity. But also, the strength of gravity also depends on the mass of the thing that's being pulled on. So a butterfly, it has hardly any mass, so it's pulled hardly at all. You, I don't know, you're 180 pounds, something like that.
Probably a lot more than that, about double.
Okay. Jesus Christ. So, you know, you're 360 pounds or so. It's going to pull, gravity's going to pull on you a lot more than it's going to pull on a butterfly. But you have muscles in your legs, and so you can fight against that gravity. But gravity is going to pull on water, on trillions of gallons of water, way more than it's pulling on you. And the water doesn't have muscles. The water doesn't have anything to fight the gravity, so it'll just sit there. It'll just be pulled down until it can't go through at all. So like, it just doesn't seem like
8 pounds. Obviously, that's enough weight. But if you have water droplets, doesn't it float up to the clouds? It's not pulling it down.
So, why do you think rain falls?
Because then it becomes heavier.
So
at some point, it's got to be.
Yeah. So look, there are multiple interactions that are happening here.
Okay.
The idea is merely that if you have a very, very tiny droplet of water, wind, you know how like hot air rises? Wind and that kind of hot air can lift up tiny, tiny droplets of water because the force of gravity on them is small.
Okay.
So the wind can overpower it. However, this is like what water, mist is. But if the water droplets get big enough, so they're heavy enough, the gravitational force increases, but the wind force pushing them up doesn't increase. So then the water droplets fall. That's rain.
Okay. So how do you explain that water always finds its level if we're on a ball?
Why do you think that it does?
You could use a level anytime. We use liquid to level out everything.
Okay, let me show you something. Do you know what a meniscus is?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a picture of a meniscus. This is just colored water. It's nothing special. It doesn't look level to me.
So right now, if we're on this globe, somebody is on the other side.
Wait, hold on. Before we move off that, like, we have an example here of water not finding its level.
Okay, then
right?
why do we use levels then to level using liquid?
Because if you have a wide enough, you're talking about a bubble level, right?
Yeah, any kind of measurement that
a bubble level isn't even level. It's like round. You put the round bubble in the middle, like in between two lines.
Well, it's basically air that is surrounded by a liquid,
but nothing's level in there. Nothing's flat. Nothing's flat in a level. In like a bubble level, right? Like,
yeah, like if I'm gonna build something with construction, I'm gonna use a level that's a
right,
flat plane that uses a sight glass that has an air bubble with liquid in it, and the liquid is the level.
Wait, so tell me, what is level in this picture? Where is the example of water finding its level in this picture?
I can't really see that.
Oh, I can make it bigger. Does that help?
Yep.
Where's the, like, which thing is finding its level in this picture?
Nothing. It's an air bubble.
Right.
But the liquid is what's making it supposedly level in a containment.
But it's not like the water is like taking up a level shape or something like that. All that's happening is that when the bubble level is like horizontal, the air bubble wants to be as high as it possibly can, because air bubbles rise in water, because air is like, there's buoyant forces and all of this stuff. So air bubbles rise in water, and so if it was slightly tilted, one side would be higher than the other, so the water would, or the air bubble would go to that side.
Correct.
But if it's not tilted, it'll just hang out in the middle.
Right.
What does that have to do with water always finding its level?
Because I just can't find a synopsis or anything to prove that if you put water on a ball, regardless of gravity, I don't see how it's going to stick to a ball as we're moving through, supposedly at all these speeds through space and everything else. I don't see how gravity is the only thing, the only logic to say that we're holding water against this ball, this globe.
But look, you agreed
However,
that like
if you have
it's
water
reasonable
in
for
your hand and I'm walking in a tin of glass, it's going to be level. It's not going to be bent.
It's not going to be perfectly
bubbled.
level. At the edges, it'll curve up, right? Because of the meniscus.
I mean, there's some other scientific, I'm sure, explanations as to why it may be just slightly curved on the edges.
So the reason why it curves up is because of water, or is because of surface tension. And so what's happening is that water being a liquid, it can take on any shape. And so it's going to take the shape that minimizes the amount of energy that the water is kind of like, that the water has, right? And so think about firing a firearm into the air, right? It'll start out going like vertically. It'll start out going really fast, but as it gets higher, it loses energy and it slows down. It loses that energy because it turns it into potential energy as it gets higher. And once it's at the top of its arc, it stops, and then it only has potential energy, and then it changes that potential energy into kinetic energy as it falls down. So the amount of energy, potential energy, increases as you go up, right? And so water being a fluid, it's going to try to minimize the amount of energy that it takes to be in whatever configuration. So if you imagine that you had imagine that the shape of your water was a triangle rather than just like horizontal, right? In like a glass, then the water at the top of the triangle, that would have more potential energy than it needs to have. And so the water, being a fluid, will minimize its potential energy. So it'll settle into a configuration that minimizes that energy. And that's what the horizontal thing is doing. It's so that every single piece of water is at the same level of energy at the surface. Now, the reason why it curves up is because there's some like molecular interactions between like the edge of the glass and the water. And so the easiest way to minimize that energy is to be a little bit more stuck to the glass. So that causes this kind of like curving up business. And so it's all about just minimizing energy. But on a globe with gravity, the way that water would minimize energy is by sticking to the globe and being as flat as possible. And that's exactly what happens.
Has any scientist been able to replicate gravity holding water to a ball?
On Earth, no. I suspect not. If only because, well, think about it. If you're on Earth, then the thing that's pulling you down is gravity. It's Earth's gravity, right? And so if you tried to like get some other thing, like, you know, a lead ball or something like this, and have water stick to it, well, water is being more strongly attracted by the Earth than it would be by the lead ball. And so the water will just tend to fall off and onto the ground because the ground has stronger gravity.
Scientific studies in outer space. Why wouldn't that be a scientific study in outer space?
Let me show you. Let me show you something. Okay. I just found one of these videos earlier. Like I was just using it for a video. Where is it? It was Scott. It was one of the astronaut twins. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't. I'm just going based upon my logic.
Yeah, I found it. Well, his brother's a senator.
Explaining it, so.
I'm talking about the astronaut whose brother is a senator, Scott Kelly. Yeah, that's his name, or Mark Kelly, one of them. Anyway, so here's an astronaut in the International Space Station. So first of all, here's a bubble of water. See how it's like roughly spherically shaped?
Yep.
Why is it doing that? Why isn't it level? Why isn't it horizontal?
Because there is no gravity. They're in a zero gravity atmosphere.
Right. So, but why isn't it level?
But that's kind of going along with your theory. What I'm saying is if we can introduce gravity, which gravity is supposedly out in space, including on the moon, wherever he's doing his...
He's on the space station.
Whatever he's doing it inside a controlled atmosphere that doesn't have gravity.
Well, there is gravity. It's called microgravity, but there is gravity. So look, the trouble is that gravity is generally really weak. So it's hard to actually make like a configuration of gravity that would be the result or simulate gravity, that would be the result of actual gravity rather than surface tension. The reason why that that bubble was in a bubble shape, was in like a ball shape, was because of surface tension. I mean, just think about it, right? Like if you have a like a fridge magnet stuck to a refrigerator, that's just like a tiny little magnet, and it's able to overpower the entirety of the gravitational force of the Earth, pulling it down, just using this tiny little magnet to hold itself up. So like generally, in order to have a significant amount of gravity, you need a ton of mass. Now, this isn't to say that we've never experimentally demonstrated gravity. We have. It just has to be done in a super, super controlled environment with like perfect isolation and like really, really refined experimental techniques. I mean, it was first done about 250 years ago, and we've gotten a lot better at it. But it's still hard to do, especially if you're trying to work with fluids, because fluids experience other forces like surface tension. So it's just generally a little bit tricky. That's not to say, though, that we can't prove that gravity exists using experiments, which we can.
Right. And this is why people are opinionated, just because if they don't see the actual evidence or believe the evidence, that's why they're opinionated. So I don't think certain people are wrong for saying what they said because they're opinionated. You're doing things based upon facts, which is great because that helps the theorists or you know, the ones who don't want to believe that this is the way that it is. You're doing a good job of being able to knock that down. There's a lot of people out there that don't do that, and they do it with a bunch of BS. You actually have something to back it up with. So that changes people's perception.
I would hope so.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking the time to do it, but I don't want to hold it up from the next person to
Fair enough.
their theory up.
Thanks for being here.
Appreciate your time. Thank
you. Sorry, I'm just going to try to fix the Discord thing once and for all. I think I made... Does the Discord link work now? I believe I made the permissions available so that anybody can join, but everybody will join with muted status, which is probably what we want. Why isn't this working? Permissions. Who is allowed in this? Permissions. Everyone can view the channel. Everyone has to be able to connect, not just view. Okay, we will oh, connect. There we go. Okay. Now it should work. All right, great. Let's read some super chats and we'll move on to our next guest. From Binary Ghost with the $10, I was told by a flat earther that the discovery of the ionosphere was to cover up the Earth wasn't round because line of sight antennas were working far past the curve. Have you heard of this? Yeah, I've heard of that. It's just not true. Like, I'd love them to provide evidence that that is the reason why the ionosphere was discovered. From Peter Hegwood with the $5, could you use an internet phone number app for people to call, like a router spoof number? I could, but those are generally not free. By the way, if you are joining the guest channel and you don't want to be brought up, leave the guest channel. Do not join the guest channel if you are not willing to debate the flat earth. This is solely for people who want to have a conversation about the topic, right? From Grimmy with the $5, there are live streams from the rocket studying the Aurora Borealis, evidently showing a curve as a byproduct. Yeah, that's super neat, isn't it? From Boogie the Cat with the $2, a plastic water bottle and a paper towel roll. What? Am I missing something? From Josh Williams with the $2, thank you, Judge Judy, for dunking on flat earthers. It is funny, isn't it? From Josh Williams with the $2, oh, it's the same one. All right, let's bring up our next guest. Junior Cash Jr. Junior Cash Jr., how's it going?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Junior, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I believe it's flat, you know.
Okay. Why do you think it's flat?
Just from all my observable experiences and all of my senses.
Okay. Your observable experiences and your senses. So what do your senses tell you about the sun during sunsets?
That the sun is moving away from me, from my perspective.
So
Just
in
as
your view, and I don't know, maybe this is just not something you've experienced before. What typically happens when something gets farther away?
it gets smaller.
Okay. Now, what happens during a sunset?
It gets smaller. It's just relative to your position.
So just
so
to be
if
clear,
you're-
so when something gets further away, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller until you can't see it anymore, right?
Correct.
Now, interestingly enough, we can actually do math to this. Generally speaking, if you have something that is, say, I don't know, 100 feet away from you, it will look twice as big compared to if it were 200 feet away from you or 400 feet away from you, right? If you double the distance, it gets half as big. Make sense?
Okay, yeah, it makes sense.
Now, we can see the sun at noon, right? And it's, you know, if your worldview is correct, when we see the sun at noon, it should be at the biggest it'll ever be, right? Because it's the closest to us. Now, is the sun ever half as big as it is at noon?
I mean, when it's at noon, it's the highest point in the sky. That doesn't mean it's the closest to us.
So do you think that the sun goes down in elevation?
Does it go down in elevation? I mean, yeah, it goes
Okay.
down in elevation.
When does it go down?
I mean, I don't know when it exactly goes down, but when it's traveling, and then when I say it goes like when it moves away from you, it's not moving in like a straight line. It's going.
Do you think it's going
around.
up and down though?
I mean, yeah, it may. It's possible. It's possible.
If it's going up and down though, then because like when it's night, when it's evening for you, it's noon for somebody else, right?
When it's evening for me, it's noon for somebody else. Yeah, the sun. Will
So then
become
like when it's noon for somebody else, let's say that it goes down, like its elevation decreases. At some point it reaches the lowest it gets in the sky, right? Like the actual elevation, the altitude is the lowest. So
I'm following.
and that means that at some point it will be at its lowest altitude when it's noon for somebody. Because it's always noon somewhere. Or it's
You
always
said the lowest altitude when it's noon.
Yeah. So look, so if the altitude is changing, so you know you have your sun going around over the Earth, right? And you're saying that like the altitude changes, like maybe it goes up and down, right? So at some point it's going to be at its lowest altitude, and when it's at that lowest altitude, it's going to be directly over some place on the world, right?
Correct, but why is it the lowest? If I said it was the highest.
Well, no, I'm talking about like the actual altitude of the sun, right? The altitude of the sun changes, and it's either like if you're saying that the altitude of the sun actually changes, not just like the angle that it appears at, but like the actual altitude, how high it is above you, like how many feet it is above you.
Okay,
I'm asking
I'm following.
at some point during the day, or at some point during, you know, whenever, the sun will be as close as possible to the Earth, right? It'll be the lowest, and it'll be like the lowest in altitude. And wherever or whenever that happens, it will be directly over someone or somewhere, right?
Correct.
And so for them, presumably that would be noon, right? Because it's directly overhead.
Okay, I'm following. Yeah.
So then for that person, when they wait 6 hours, why does the sun go down? If it was already at the lowest altitude.
Again, it's not going like when it's say I'm looking at the sun right now, and when it's the sun in the sun is supposedly setting.
Yep.
It's not it's leaving my line of sight, but it's not going straight back and down over the horizon. It's turning.
Right, but why can't look? So the question is basically, when it's over your head, it's the closest it's going to be to you, right? At noon, when it's over your head, it's the closest it's going to be to you. Because for the rest of the day, it's just like zooming away, right? So it's going to be further away.
I'm following.
So the biggest it'll appear in the sky is when it's noon, because it's directly overhead. Which means that, you know, however high the sun is in the sky, do you have a rough number? Is it 5 miles up? Is it 5,000 miles up?
It's listen, I haven't did this in a long time, but it's like 32 miles up maybe.
Okay, let's say it's 32 miles up. So when it's 32 miles up, it's going to be however big it is. And that means that when it's, say, let me do some quick math, like 50 miles away from you, now your distance to the sun will be like 64 miles. Right? Because it's now further away from you. So when it's 64 miles away, when it's just 50 miles over at the next, a few blocks down the street, not a few blocks down the street, maybe the next city over, it should be half as big because it's twice as far away.
So you're saying that the sun doesn't decrease in size at all?
It doesn't. Well, at least not significantly. Right before sunset, the sun does shrink in size a little bit. Depends on the atmospheric conditions. It can shrink in size, maybe like 5% at most. It's basically just you get compression because of the air, because the air layers near the surface of the ground are going to be a different temperature than the air layers higher up in the sky, and so you're getting some distortion. Think of like the atmosphere a little bit like a lens. But the point is that if it was just getting further away, it should be half as big as it is like an hour after noon. Like in noon, it should be one size, and then like less than an hour later, it should be half as big. But that's not how it is.
So you said because of the air compression, say that one more time, so I can follow along.
So the atmospheric. So during the day, the sun spends a lot of time heating up the ground. The ground gets warm, and the ground stores that heat. And so the ground, as the sun begins to set, the air cools off very quickly, but the air near the ground keeps getting heated by the ground. And so you have a difference in temperature between the air near the ground and the air higher up. And that difference in temperature causes, essentially, you can think of them as, it's not like quite a mirage, but it's like an atmospheric distortion. Think of it like a very weak lens. And so it just shrinks the size of the sun a few percent. But the point is we could even ignore that effect. We can call that like a negligible effect. And from your model, the sun should be like, after like an hour, an hour is what? What part of the world are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in New York.
Okay, so at 40 degrees north-ish, which is where you are, that's like close to 45, and so it's like an hour is 15 degrees, and so we need it to be like 60 miles away. So 60 miles at the equator, 15 degrees. It's an hour, 15 degrees is 1/24th, so that would be, what's 1/24th of 4,000? Of 4,000, or of 24,000 divided by, it's just 1,000, obviously. Okay, so then you would have 1,000 miles in 60 minutes, but it's reduced by a factor of 29%, so you have 710-ish miles in an hour. So look, sorry, just doing some mental math. After an hour, at 1 o'clock, right? At 1 o'clock, the sun should be roughly 20 times smaller than it is at noon.
Why would that be?
Because it's 20 times further away. Right?
Not necessarily, brother, because if you watch the sun from midnight, from noon to 1 p.m., the sun is above us, and then it's traveling at a distance, so it's still in our sights.
Right, but you're not understanding. If the sun is 32 miles up at noon, it's 32 miles up at noon. An hour later in New York, it is now, the sun will, noon is now 700 miles west of you, right? Because, you know, now the sun is directly overhead somewhere else, which is west of you, because it's 1 o'clock for you, so it'll be noon for somebody else to the west. And so if the sun is now 700 miles up, or if the sun is now 32 miles up, but 700 miles west, well, now the sun, from your perspective, is like 700 and change miles up. Sorry, not 700 and change miles up, 700 and change miles away. And so if it's 700 miles away at 1 o'clock, but it was 32 miles away at noon, now it's like 20 times further away. So it should be 20 times smaller.
I mean, I understand that, but it's the sun. The sun is it's huge. One thing, it's huge.
If it was 32 miles up, it would be tiny, by the way. I've done this math before. If it was 32 miles up, it would be like,
But the thing is,
it would be like 1,500 feet across.
But the thing is, you believe that the sun is in space,
yeah,
millions of miles away, and
Yeah.
the sun is not small. So what are we talking about?
Right, but the sun is far away in my model. In your model, it's only 32 miles up. So if the sun is only 32 miles up, then it should only be like 1,500 feet across or so.
So what about crepuscular rays?
What about them? And by the way, before we talk about crepuscular rays, the point is that I think it's really important to recognize that if the Earth, or if the sun were only 32 miles up, then we should absolutely be seeing the sun change in size over the course of an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, because it would be getting so far away, right? I mean, like after 6 hours, like even after 4 hours, right? At 4 p.m. in New York, 3 p.m. in New York, it is noon in California, but it's thousands of miles away. If it's only 32 miles up and it's thousands of miles away, it's like, you know, 100 times further away from you than it started out. So it should be way smaller. That's something that I think that you really need to consider, because it doesn't make any sense on a flat Earth.
All I know is that the sun is an electromagnetic. It's electromagnetic, and when the sun
Can you
moves,
tell me what electromagnetism is?
Electromagnetism.
Mm-hmm.
Just off my. It's a force.
It's a force? Okay.
It is a force. Yeah.
What is it? What kind of force? How does it behave?
It behave. I mean, we're all electrical. Like we're electric beings. So basically, when the sun moves,
What does it mean for the sun to be electromagnetic?
You said, what does it mean for the sun to be electromagnetic?
Yeah, because you said the sun is electromagnetic in nature.
Correct. So that, I mean,
So what does that mean?
So what does it mean for us, or what does
it mean for the sun?
Like,
what does it mean that it's electromagnetic in nature?
I mean, I don't follow.
I mean, you said it. I'm asking what it means.
Yeah, it means that when it goes through all the different ions in the sky, that, you know, it changes the color of the sky.
Can you tell me what an ion is?
Can I tell you what an ion is?
Yeah. Are you sure that this is the argument you want to make?
An ion is a pure form of whatever we're talking about.
It's not.
So what is an ion?
It's a charged atom.
Of what?
Of anything.
Hydrogen or?
Of anything. It's just a charged atom. Like, look, it sounds like you heard a lot of these words from, I don't know, some flat earth YouTuber or something like this, or a flat earth TikToker. and like they sounded right, so you're repeating them. But like, I don't think you know what they mean, and I can assure you the person who was saying them didn't know what they meant.
So the sun is not electromagnetic.
No.
Nikola Tesla believed it.
Nikola
Are you smarter than Tesla?
Nikola Tesla also married a pigeon.
That's his choice. Now we care about who people love. Men dress
A
up as
pigeon aren't
women.
people.
People are actually
Pigeons
doing
aren't
that
people.
now. People are saying they're dogs and cats, brother.
Pigeons aren't people. What are you doing?
Is a cat a person?
No. It's a
People
cat.
People identify as cats now.
I don't think they do.
That's your thoughts, brother. You should research it. But anyway, back to what we were saying.
Also, Nikola Tesla thought that like nuclear energy was fake, and he thought that the atomic bomb would never work. He was wrong about a lot of things.
Was he right about anything?
He was right about how like an electromagnetic motor works. Basically, that's it. He knew a lot about radio waves, but like that's basically it.
So the sun is not electromagnetic.
No.
And when it passes by the ions, it doesn't light them up.
What ions?
I mean, it's been scientifically proven.
The sky is like the air that we breathe is not ions.
So they're not charged particles in the air.
No, they're neutral atoms or neutral molecules, really.
Brother, there are charged ions in the air. There are ions in the air.
I mean, the vast majority. I mean, so we do have something called an ionosphere, but that's a thin layer of atmosphere that's like.
And where's that at? How high
is
like, that?
It's like 50 miles up or something like this.
Okay.
I can Google it for you because I just don't remember the number off the top of my head. Yeah. So in fact, it's between 30 and 600 miles up. So the ionosphere is really above where you think the sun is. So if you think the sun is 32 miles up.
Whoa. Is that not in between the range of where I said the sun is?
Well, yeah. So like the sun is like right at the bottom of the ionosphere in your view.
And that would affect what we visibly see.
No.
Correct?
No.
If you charge these ions with an electromagnetic source,
ions don't get charged by electromagnetic sources. They
would interact with each other.
Like ions become charged by like knocking electrons out of atoms or by adding extra electrons to atoms.
Valence electrons, correct?
That's not what light does. At least not, the sun's light. You can like use X-rays and ultraviolet and stuff that absolutely does can ionize stuff, but it doesn't do a whole lot.
So what does it do?
It just passes through. It's a gas.
It's a gas, correct?
Yeah.
Now these gases don't get charged, is what you're saying?
So the ionosphere does get a little charged. In fact, it does get a little charged by the sun. But I don't know how that works on your model when the sun is like right at the edge of the ionosphere on the bottom layer. How is it charging the top layer?
I mean,
charging isn't the right word. How is it ionizing the top layer?
And it does. I mean, that the top layer, it doesn't affect that. It doesn't change that. It doesn't
look.
The sky doesn't get orange or pink or doesn't change color. All the way up there, 600 miles in the air, it stays that same color that it is because the sun is not reaching that far. But when it's reaching the layer near us, the 30 miles.
So the stuff 30 miles and under, that's not ions, and that's the sky that we see.
From 30 miles is the ionosphere.
30 miles and up. 30 miles to 600 miles is the ionosphere.
Correct. And I told you that the sun is 32 miles. So there's
right. So like, why is it that there's 600? Why is it that there are ions 600 miles up if the sun is only 32 miles up?
So the sun has to be where every single ion. The sun has to be throughout the whole ionosphere.
Furthermore, why isn't, if the sun is able to ionize the air that's 600 miles up, why can't it ionize the air that's 5 miles below it?
So you're saying that the sun is ionizing the 600 miles up?
So the ionosphere is ionized by the sun. It's
Okay.
ionized by the sun 600 miles up, and then the amount of ionization decreases as it gets lower, because
Okay.
the ionizing radiation gets absorbed during the ionization process, which is why there's fewer ions 30 miles up than there are 600 miles up, relatively speaking.
Is it more air higher or lower?
There's more air lower, and there's fewer
Okay,
ions lower.
And that's why.
There's fewer ions.
I understand.
Look,
there's more.
Junior, is this
the less-
really the argument you want to make when you
the
didn't
less
know what an ion
atmosphere
was 5 minutes ago?
The less atmosphere there is, right? It's easier for the rays to get through. It's easier for everything to work.
Is this
There's more
really the
ions-
argument you want to make when you didn't know what an ion was 5 minutes ago?
I mean,
Like step back and think about this for a minute. Do you really think that you can make this argument if you don't have the underlying scientific knowledge to understand the things you're saying?
I mean, you gave me what an ion was, and I've
Okay.
known it. I just forgot it. I haven't been on this. I haven't been on this stuff in a long time. Like I said, 2015. So it's not something that I walk around with on my everyday journey through life, as clearly you do. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is what I
I'm a
was saying.
scientist by
but
trade, so
That's
I kind of have to know this stuff.
bravo. I clap it up for you, brother. I hope you you open up your mind to the flat Earth, brother, because that's truly what it is. Everything that you
Except
experience.
none
is
of the
flat.
scientific evidence is aligned with it. Like literally none of it. Can you show me one experiment that shows, like an actual experiment conducted like
lasers
in the way that a scientist does it? I'm asking for an
Lasers.
actual experiment conducted in a way that a scientist would do it, not just like
mi-
a guy recorded a video and
No,
therefore
the military track.
the military track. Okay, yeah, sure.
missiles.
So wait, what's
Missiles.
the experiment? What's the experiment that was done?
I mean, it doesn't even have to be the experiment because they do this
But
for
I asked for an
defense.
experiment.
It's something that's actually done almost every time they're at war or there's a battle or missiles being shot at. They
Yeah,
track
so-
the missile
Yeah.
with lasers and they blow it up. How can you track a missile over hundreds of miles?
Yeah,
if
you want to
there's
bet? So to be clear, if you're in an aircraft, right?
No, they're
That's
on, they're, no, they're on
35,000.
the ship.
Okay, where
They're on the ship.
so if the missile is 30,000 feet in the air, you can see it from much further away than if it were close to the ground. In fact, this is why cruise missiles often fly so low, because then they can stay in the radar horizon of battleships, of warships.
Okay, and you think okay?
If,
So you
if
think
something
they're-
is
they're
high,
not
you can
cruise
see
missiles
it
that's
from
big?
further away.
Correct. What kind of missiles are you talking about?
What kind of missiles are you talking about? Cruise
Cruise
missiles fly
missiles.
low. Cruise missiles fly
Correct.
low, which is why
Low.
they can't be seen on radar until they're very close. I'd love you to find me an example of a laser being used to designate a missile from further away than would be possible on the Earth. Find me an example.
I mean, right now I'm not at the computer, but I want to ask you this: what is the curvature of the Earth?
It's 1 degree every 69 miles.
1 degree every 69 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 69 miles, 1 degree. So
Mm-hmm.
across from the Great Lakes, what is it?
Mhm.
What is across the Great Lakes?
Are you asking the miles? Like how?
No, the state. What state is across from the Great
It's like-
Lakes?
There's a lot of states that are across the Great Lakes.
And give me a few.
Are you talking about like Michigan?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So how can you see the skyline of those states?
Why do you think that you shouldn't be able to?
Because how many miles is across?
It depends on where you're looking from. It can be anywhere from like 30 to 70 or 80 miles. One
Man,
degree,
listen.
1 degree every 69 miles, remember?
And the altitude also affects that, right? So if I'm in a plane.
The altitude doesn't affect the curvature of the Earth.
So if I'm in a
The
plane,
altitude affects how far away the horizon is.
okay. So if I'm in a plane it's still the 1 degree every 69 miles.
Yeah, the Earth's shape doesn't change when you're in a plane.
So how can pilots see across 400, 500 miles away?
Because they're higher up.
But I thought you said that
the Earth's shape doesn't change. If your position changes, if you're if you're taller or if you are further away, then the things that you can see might change. The Earth's shape never changes. It's just a shape.
So why don't we tilt down when we're flying the plane?
Why? What do you mean? Why don't, so why do you, okay, better question. Why do planes tilt up when they're flying quote unquote level?
Tilt up? There's no tilting up.
Yeah, they are. So go look up, and you can look this up for yourself. I can show it to you.
I've flown a plane, brother.
So a Boeing 747 has a cruise attitude, I think it's called, of like 2.5 to 3 degrees up. It is tilted up always while it's at cruising altitude. Angle of attack, like 2.5 to 3 degrees.
And what is the purpose of that?
You tell me. It seems like you think that in order to go around a curve, you have to tilt down. So in order to stay on a level plane, you would imagine that you'd just have to stay level. But that's not what happens. They actually are tilted up. So why are they tilted up?
I mean, I would just assume due to the wind pressure and things of that nature. That's it.
Okay, so if I give you an explanation as to why planes don't have to tilt down in order... So to be clear, we agree that you can fly level on your worldview. We can fly level while being tilted up. Why can't we fly around a curve while tilted up then? If it has to do with air pressure and, you know, wings and things like that, like...
I mean, at some point you will have to tilt your plane down if you're flying across the whole globe.
Can I show you a simulation?
Show me a simulation.
Okay.
I've flown a plane before. I didn't fly a Boeing, but I've flown a private plane for sure.
Yeah, so this is a simulation by a guy named Walter Bislin. It's literally just doing fluid simulations. There's nothing baked in. There's nothing baked in at all. So here we have some numbers controlling the plane. We can even turn off pitch damping if you want. Pitch damping is, you know, a feature that airplanes have to try to basically control the plane from doing this. But importantly, the size of the Earth that this plane is currently flying over, it's a sphere, and it's 5% the size of the Earth. So it has a lot more curvature. I can get the exact number for you. So 69 times 20. So the version of Earth that it's currently flying over has 69 divided by 20 has 1 degree of curvature every 3.5 miles. So and we can make it even smaller if you want. I know that there's a way to zoom, just so then you can actually see it. Well, anyway, why don't we just speed it up and then you'll see it happen. So I'm just going to speed up the simulation. It's going real fast. What's that happening? There's literally nobody adjusting anything. Nothing's pre-programmed. There's no pilot inside pointing it down. In fact, it's pointed up the entire time. But it's still following the curvature of the Earth. How does that work? Kind of weird, isn't it? It's pointing up, yet somehow it's still tilting.
No, yeah, I don't really understand.
Yeah, so you've flown a
The
plane,
plane
right?
looks
So
like it's doing the whole 360 right now, so I don't know.
well, yeah. So gravity is this little arrow here, or that's the direction towards the center. I think green is green is the gravitational force. Blue is the lift force. Red is the drag force, and yellow is the thrust force. So those are the 4 relevant forces for an airplane. Now,
But no,
Here's the
brother, right now, look, so is the plane going upside down right now? Like, is that what you're telling me?
No, the bottom of the plane is still closest to the surface of the Earth, so it's not upside down.
No, and I mean, okay, yes, but like, you know, but so why do you have the screen flipping upside down? Like, that's
because it's not rotating with the Earth's motion. The screen is keeping the orientation the same, but from the plane's perspective, down is still down. They never went upside down.
due to gravity.
Yeah, gravity is still pointing them towards the center, and that never changed.
Oh man.
And look, the reason why this happens, by the way, is because the center of gravity, the center of mass, is located here, that green arrow, and the center of lift is located at the blue arrow. And so they're not perfectly aligned. And so the green arrow and the blue arrow, as they're not perfectly aligned, will produce a torque. And so as the green arrow tilts, because that's what the gravitational pull is doing, as you move along it, the green arrow is going to tilt. That will induce a torque in the plane. And so the plane will tilt as a result of that torque, like that twisting force. And so the lift will then tilt as well, because the lift is aligned with basically where the wings are. And so you get, just for free, just as a matter of fact, that the gravitational force and the lift force are not perfectly aligned, you get that you will follow the force of gravity for free. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, man, this is good. This is some good stuff right here, brother.
Now, wouldn't a better explanation merely be for, I don't know, sunsets, for all of the photos that we have of Earth, for gravity, for the reason why things fall? Wouldn't all, sure, I know that that's like your thought terminating cliche, but like, wouldn't a better explanation for all of these pieces of evidence be that the plane is, sorry, not the plane, the Earth is merely a sphere? Because that explains why sunsets are the way they are. It explains why flight times in the north and southern hemisphere are the same. It explains why hurricanes never cross the equator. It explains why gravity pulls things down. It explains why we can see the horizon changing its angle when you go to higher elevations. It explains why we have photos of the Earth. It explains basically everything. It doesn't require inventing a sun 32 miles up that's electromagnetic and causing, like, it doesn't require any of this invention stuff. It's one singular explanation, explains all of it. You don't have to explain everything individually now. Doesn't it just make sense to think that that's more likely to be true?
I mean, I don't know. It's just based. See, and you know what comes? The reason why all this is just due to them faking the moon landing. That's really what all this comes from. Them faking the moon landing. What does
the moon landing have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Because if we never left, then how would they determine the shape of the Earth?
You can measure the shape of a thing that you're standing on. That's what surveyors do. We've known that the Earth is a sphere for thousands of years.
I mean, there have been different people in different parts of the world, different time periods, that have thought that the world was flat.
Yeah, so the ancient Greeks knew that the Earth was a sphere as far back as 2,200 years ago. The ancient Hebrews in the Middle East, they thought that the Earth was flat probably a little bit longer. By the time the fall of the Second Temple, though, I believe that they were on the globe Earth train. Similarly, and by the time like the medieval era rolls around, everybody knew that the Earth was a globe. Everybody knew it.
And I understand that. I understand that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not like, oh, this thing just came out of somebody's butthole. You know what I'm saying? This is
the flat Earth. It literally did. It came from a guy named Samuel Rowbotham.
But before him, there were people who thought this.
You don't think the same thing as the people who thought about it before him. Like the ancient Hebrews, when they thought the Earth was flat, they thought it was nighttime at the same time for everybody. They thought that the sun literally went underneath the Earth. Because they understood that if the sun was just getting further away, it would never be nighttime. The sun would actually have to be blocked by something in order for us to have a sunset. So you don't believe what the ancient Hebrews believed. You don't believe what the ancient cosmologies believed. You believe what a guy named Samuel Rowbotham believed in the 1800s.
I mean, just from Star Trail, just from people recording the sun traveling, you can see that it's moving away and turning to the just turning.
Okay, so let's think about this. Let's use our brains. By the way, just to be clear, this is the guy that you have to blame for your belief in the flat Earth, Samuel Rowbotham. This is his fault. This doesn't come from the ancient cosmologies. It comes from this guy. Rowbotham's work is generally credited with a modern revival of belief in a flat Earth, and it's his flat Earth, not the ancient cosmology that you believe in. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about sun paths. So, in your worldview, let me pull up the picture. Let me pull something up really quick. Oh no, it's this one that I want. Here we go. So you want something like this, right? Let me just hide all of the, get rid of all of the relevant things except the sun. So you want this, right? So you have the sun, and then over the course of a day, the sun goes around, right? Actually, we don't need the sun track, right? The sun goes around over the course of a day, and over the course of different days, it's in different places, right? This is what you think it is, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's add in the sun track. So viewed from above, I don't want the moon. So importantly, so I'm just going to put it at noon, or it doesn't really matter. I'll just put it at time. Importantly, over the course of a year, it always just goes between the Tropic of Cancer, which is here, it's that inner circle, and the Tropic of Capricorn, which is here, it's that outer circle, right? And this is why if you're not between those two latitude lines, you can never see the sun directly overhead. It's impossible. In New York, it will never be straight up. It will never be directly above you where there's no shadows. This does happen in Hawaii, by the way. It's called Lahaina noon, when the sun is directly overhead and you see no shadows. Even at exactly noon in, say, New York, there will never be a day where there's not a little bit of a shadow. Anyway, so what that means is that the sun is confined to move back and forth between those two circles, which means let's now put an observer. Let's put an observer. See that that black line? We're going to put an observer.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
In Sydney, Australia, which is right about here, right? That's where Sydney, Australia is. Now, let's make it best case scenario. So the sun will be in the outermost ring, right? So now during, sorry, I gotta move it like. I want it to be there, and then I just want it to be, okay. So at nighttime, the sun is like over here, right? For the Australian guy. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so at nighttime, the sun should be over here from your point of view, right? Because the Australian guy's on the other side.
Okay.
And so during the daytime, the sun will go around, it'll go around, and then the sun will rise. Maybe the sun rises at, when it's over here or something like this for the Australian guy. And then it passes in front of him, and then it goes away, right? And then the sun sets. That's what should happen, yeah?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask you to use your, use your visualization skills. At sunrise, what direction should the sun be in for the Australian?
At what direction?
Yeah. So imagine that the sunrise is when the sun is at this position. What direction for the Australian should the sunrise be in? North, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest?
If he's looking at the sun, it will be coming from the east.
Well, the east would be this way.
And that's what the sun, isn't that where the sun coming from?
No, the sun's over here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's not over here. So
It'll
it should be northeast, right?
Yes,
Somewhere between
correct.
north and east. Similarly, when the sun's over here,
It should be the opposite.
it should be northwest, right?
The opposite, yes.
Okay, now I'm going to show you something. All right, let's just go pull something up. So this website is called Time and Date. It's just like showing you when sunset is, when sunrise is. In fact, we can even put in like today exactly. This is today's January 22nd. So we can just put in January 22nd in. There, that's January 22nd. So on January 22nd, according to your model, the sun should rise in the northeast and set in the northwest, right? Because it's never actually further out from you. It's always further north from you. But if we go look at the sunrise calculator, what we find is that the sun is actually going to set in the southeast. Make that make sense. Why is the sun setting in the southeast if it's northeast of, or sorry, I'm sorry. The sunrise will be in the northeast or in the southeast, and the sunset will be in the southwest.
Okay, so go back to the model.
Yeah.
And now where will the southeast be?
Southeast would be like, sorry.
Behind it, right?
Southeast would be like here, and southwest would be like here. And so, in fact, it says that sunset will be 114 degrees southeast, or sunrise will be at 114 degrees southeast, so that would be like over here. And sunset will be at 246 degrees west. So that's it's almost west, but it's slightly southwest. So it'll be over here, rather than being northwest. It doesn't work. Now, unfortunately,
I mean, that's all the what the thing is. That's just all the calculations from the globe Earth.
No.
model.
This is happening today in the real world.
In the real world,
in the real world, it's gonna rise in the south. It's gonna rise in the southeast and set in the southwest. And it doesn't work on a globe Earth or on a flat Earth. It doesn't work here. You just saw the picture. This is the simulation. But look, unfortunately, Junior, I have to let you go because you were flagged for some reason. But do consider that. Do think about like what it means that the sunsets and sunrises just can't work on a globe Earth. I keep saying that, can't work on a flat Earth. And they do work on a globe Earth, by the way. You can run those exact same kind of simulations and you'll find that it makes perfect sense. Now, by the way, people were asking in the chat for like links to these simulations, this website, whatever. If you want access to my debate notes, which is where these can be found, if you want access to those, that's what we're looking at here. It's like $4 or $5 a month. These are my personal notes that I've assembled over the last few years. And it's a good way to support a channel if you plan on using it. It's a good way to support me. It's like just become a member on YouTube and you can get access to those notes. And those notes will have a whole bunch of links, not just to that website, but also like a dozen, I mean, I can just show it to you again. It has like pages of resources, links, arguments, and not just for flat Earth either, for like moon landing stuff, for like theism stuff. It has like pages and pages of this. So, if you want to take advantage of that, that's an option. Anyway, let us bring up our next guest. So I have a guest from Discord. I need to fix something. Now, how do I unmute you? How do I unmute you? Is there a way to unmute you? Hold on. I gotta fix something. There's gotta be a way to like, deafen members. I don't know how to do this. I know that there's a way that like you can be muted when you join, but then I can unmute you. Oh, somebody with a mute members permission. Oh, I need to enable that then. Sorry, one sec, y'all. I should be able to unmute you somehow. Let me try something, just one moment. Okay, that didn't work. I do want to bring up Xanderman, because he's been waiting very patiently. And then speak. Somebody with the mute member's permission unmutes them. Okay, well, I have the mute member's permission. I don't know why it's not working. Xanderman, are you muted on your end? Okay, he's gonna try to. Oh yeah, leave and rejoin. That's a good idea. Tap on their name. I still can't unmute you. Somebody will have to fix this, but I can't fix it right now, unfortunately. So Xanderman, try joining on TikTok if you can, otherwise we might have to try again next time. He's not deafened, it just says he's muted even though it doesn't actually say he's muted. I right click, it says he's not muted, but he is muted. All right, let's read some super chats and we'll move on to our next guest. From Boogie with the $2, Elmo sang that in Sesame Street. What did he sing? From Juso here with the €5. So the sun moves across the sky at a constant velocity, but when it reaches the horizon, it just stops and shrinks out of view. Yeah, that's the idea, I guess. From Deep Blue Sea with the $2, bow tie French fry. What does that mean? From Reverse Upended with the 729 AED. I don't know what that is, but thank you. I have the high ground, Anakin. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of high ground references to be made in Flat Earth discussions. From Docs and Greenlight with the $2, Dick Wayne, join the live and come get this work. Come get what work? From Grimmy with the $5, animals can be individuals, but go say they are people is odd. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, animals aren't people. Like, we have a word for that. We have a word for people, and they're people. From Brian Peck with the $5, he's arguing the sun illuminates air by electrical induction. It's a bad argument cooked up by Austin Hitzit. His wife Whitsett. I believe it. And I already read that one. From Dwayne Warren with the $5, yeah, the sun is only 32 miles up. That's why I just reach into the ionosphere to top my phone off. Yep. From Gretchen with the $6.66, have we really reached the point where baby FLERFs are calling Blitz to have their own proofs explained to them? FFS Gen Z is going to get us all killed. It's true. From Dwayne Warren with the $2, Dr. Blitz is on a flat earth mud stomping spree. Yeah, we'll do it twice. We're going to do it twice this week. From Grandmass I can't read the rest of your name, with the $5, strange that on flat earth they only bring up a single location you can sometimes see over 69 miles away. You'd think there'd be more examples. You would think that there'd be more examples, but there aren't, which is unfortunate. All right, let's bring up Scott. Scott, how's it going?
Hi, Dr. Blitz. How's it going?
I'm doing all right.
Doing
Scott,
well. How are you doing?
What shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's a dome.
You think it's a dome? Do you think the Earth is a dome?
I think we're encased inside some kind of dome.
Oh, so what shape do you think, like, the land is?
That one, well, depends. I'd say more of like a rocky, flat-ish surface, but not really flat, but you know what I mean. More like a crucible of some kind.
A crucible. So like a plate?
A jagged, rocky plate.
Yeah, there's like stuff on the plate, sure.
Like when you've had 90% of dinner that your mom gave you, but there's still some left over.
Look, okay, so I get it. It's bumpy, but it's like roughly shaped like a plate, and then it has a dome over it. So that's the rough idea?
It's like a mashed potato on a plate upside down. Yeah. Because it would be jagged on the bottom.
Why do you think that?
Can I ask you a hypothetical question?
Sure.
In, let's say, 10 to 20 years' time, what methodology will you use to prove that the Earth is a round or a globe shape or a spherical in any form?
Why do I need to do it in 10 to 20 years? I don't understand.
Hypothetically, in 10 to 20 years, with the advancements in robotics, AI, etc., what would be your methodology to prove it's a globe?
Why can't I just do it now?
No, I'm asking you hypothetical. It's a hypothetical.
But I would use the same means that I use now.
What are the means you use now?
We can look at sun paths. We can look at flight paths. We can look at shadow lengths. We can look at measured distances in like Australia.
How would you verify the data?
Pictures.
How would you verify the recorded? Yeah, how would you verify the recorded data?
The recording, you mean like today? Or are you asking like in 10 to 20 years? Oh, well, you're just asking how do we verify anything because, you know, AI and stuff like that. Right.
How would you verify flight path data?
Hopefully, I can show you a time-lapse video of a flight that took the flight that I usually use as a reference.
How do you know the metadata isn't edited?
It's a video. Are you asking how do I know the video's not edited?
Both the video and the metadata. In 10 years' time, how would you know? What methodology would you use to verify any scientific data in 10 to 20 years?
I'm not an IT guy. I'm not so worried about data verification. Somebody will figure that out.
It's the basis of your whole argument.
No, it's not, because I don't live in 10 to 20 years. I live now, where I don't really have to worry about that.
How do you trust the data you use now?
Well, because like AI video is only like 2 years old-ish. So if you can find video that's older than that, then you're fine.
Okay, how do you know that video is authentically older?
Yeah, because,
how do you know
because YouTube lists when it was uploaded.
And how do you know that the developer at YouTube is not editing the timestamp information on the video?
Scott, how do you know that you're not a brain in a vat?
The difference is that one is observable, one is not.
Oh, you can definitely observe these facts. You can like observe sunsets, for example.
I can observe my own body and physicality in a mirror.
You can also observe sunsets.
You don't know the timestamp on a video has not been edited by a developer.
Fortunately, we don't need to actually like look at flight path videos. We can just go observe a sunset and see that the Earth sets behind the curvature. Sorry, the sun sets behind the curvature of the Earth.
That doesn't mean it's a sphere.
Yeah, it does, because it's the same way everywhere.
Explain.
Yeah, so you see the sunsets happen in the same way in the same way in all locations on Earth. It gets smaller as it goes lower. Like more and more of it gets obstructed, so you're seeing less of it. It's not just getting further away; it's getting obstructed by something, and it's obstructed in the same way everywhere on the planet.
But it could be a semisphere.
No, because I've been to the southern hemisphere, and it sets the same way there too.
Okay, so there is no alternative shape besides a sphere.
No, not that leads to the same. Not that leads to the same style of sunset everywhere on it.
And you have observed the sunset simultaneously in all geographical
not
positions.
Simultaneously. I've observed it in different places at different times. That's all that's required.
So how do you? What?
That's all that's required. I've seen it in New Zealand. I've seen it in Europe. I've seen it in the Caribbean. I've seen it in Canada. I've seen it in Nepal. I've seen it in Cambodia.
You've stood and observed the sunset.
Yeah, in all of those places.
Okay.
And it's the same. It's the same thing, which means that it's symmetrical across all of those places.
Yeah, that doesn't add up what you just said, because the Earth is not the shape of the Earth. There's a specific scientific term used for its shape. It's not a perfect sphere.
It's topologically a sphere. Yeah, it is.
It's not topologically a sphere.
Yeah, it is.
So you're saying now its topology fits the same formulaic definition of a sphere?
Yeah, the surface of the Earth is S2.
Bro, you might think I'm low IQ, but there's no chance what you just said is objectively true, because it's not considered a perfect sphere.
I don't think you know what a topological sphere is.
Topology is in relation to mathematics and formulaic equations. It's perfect. It's perfect in nature.
A topological sphere can have bumps. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
A topological sphere can be.
You can have.
You know that an ellipsoid is a topological sphere, right?
Yes, you can have spheres which have bumps, and it can be calculated in a formulaic nature.
It's still a topological sphere.
Nature.
Still a topological sphere.
That being said, the term I used was perfect sphere, and
Okay,
you know
well,
what that means.
I don't use that term. I use topological sphere.
Okay, so which form of a sphere?
A topological sphere.
Topological is a general term. It's not
No,
a
a
specific
topological
kind of
sphere is I mean, I can be more specific. I can say that the surface of the Earth is homeomorphic to S2.
Perfect. So is that perfect sphere?
I can hear you typing it into ChatGPT. Go ahead.
I'm actually typing it into Google, actually.
Okay. Yeah. So I know that you don't know what homeomorphic means. I know that you don't know what S2 means.
I'm actually not familiar with the term S2. I'm looking it up. I'm not a liar. I never claimed I was familiar with it. Did I claim I was familiar with the term?
Why'd you say perfect then?
Perfect has a clear definition. I'm sure. One second.
It means that you said that I was correct. But how can you establish if I'm correct if you don't even know what those words mean?
1 second. Formula for a perfect sphere. 1 second.
I never said the word perfect sphere. You keep saying that.
I said it.
Yeah, I would never use that word to describe the Earth.
Okay, great. We're on the same page. Fantastic.
Yeah, the Earth is homeomorphic to S2.
Perfect. So why would your observances be the exact same in all locations?
Is that a question related to what I just said?
Yeah, why would your observance of the nature of sunsets be the same in all locations that you visited if the Earth is not a perfect sphere?
So not only is the Earth homeomorphic to S2, the surface of the Earth is also very nearly diffeomorphic to S2. And that means that the deviation.
I'm low IQ like the other guy. You have to help me out.
I'm aware. So what diffeomorphic means is that it is.
I know what it means, bro. It's
okay. Define what diffeomorphic means then.
I'm low IQ. You need to define.
I thought you said you know what it means.
I can assume what it means via the Latin and ancient Greek.
Okay, assume what it means. Tell me.
You know, homo, die, etc. You can have a general understanding of something based on its Latin root.
I don't think you can.
I don't know the perfect definition. Give me it.
So when we say that something is diffeomorphic to something else, it means that there's a diffeomorphism between the two. And a diffeomorphism is a particular kind of map that's in particular, it's invertible and typically assumed to be smooth. It doesn't have to be smooth though. Anyway, the point is if you have a diffeomorphism between the surface of the Earth and S2, what that means is that the way that we talk about shape, size, and angle is very similar. It's not a perfect diffeomorphism, I should say. It's definitely not. Actually, I should say that it's nearly isomorphic. Of course, it's diffeomorphic, but it's nearly isomorphic. And so, because it's nearly isomorphic, it will look almost exactly like an S2. It's not perfect, but it will look almost exactly like an S2, which is a sphere. What you would call a perfect sphere. I should say it's almost. I should say it's nearly isomorphic to the round S2.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand what you mean.
I'm sure you do. Anyway, that explains why the observations that we have are basically identical in every location.
I understand what you mean. Basically, to kind of explain it in a low IQ way, because I'm low IQ, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's nearly perfect if you were to condense it to a small size to the point where it'd be negligible. Whereas if you were to, expand it to such a large degree, its bumps and differences would be highly noticeable. So I understand what you're saying. Generally,
that's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's nearly identical to a perfect sphere. But you could simplify it that way if you want.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Generally, in a low IQ way, it's negligible.
So it turns out you don't. So going back to the shape of the Earth, turns out that you can establish the shape of the Earth merely by looking at sunsets in different parts of the Earth. You don't need any data verification or anything.
But here's the problem. Why should I trust your observances of the sunset?
You can go do it yourself. I mean, you've seen the sunset, right?
You would have to assume. You actually would have to have a presupposition. You'd have to assume the geographic locations of all of these different places in relation to a globe-shaped Earth
No, you
prior to
don't.
making the observe.
You don't need to assume that. You can just use travel times between these locations.
How do you know you're not traveling in a circle back to where you were already? Seasons?
You can see the ground. Also, actually, seasons is a good example. Yeah, I mean, like, I was in New Zealand in February, and it was summertime.
That's impossible.
It's impossible for it to be summertime in New Zealand in February?
Yeah, I don't think summer exists over there.
All right, get out of here,
summers.
Scott. Probably a troll, or just wildly dumb. So that was something. Let's bring up our next guest. So, by the way, the Discord link, it doesn't seem like it's working. Or, I mean, the Discord link works. Like, if you want to join the Discord, you can join the Discord. But the guest channel that I thought would work, I'll need to fiddle with it a little bit because I can't unmute people, which is annoying. But we have plenty of guests on the YouTube end, so we'll just take those. Sorry, y'all, if you tried to join via the Discord. Let us read some super chats and we'll move on to... Oh, we don't have any or we have one. No, we have a few. From Tim Davidson with the $5. Anakin, will I be burned when I die like Qui-Gon? Obi-Wan, oh no, you'll be alive for it. That's funny. Also horrible. And from OzFan1000 with the $2. Hi, Dr. Blitz. Well, hello, OzFan. I appreciate you. And from Dalknor GRW with the $2. Just flip Scott's skepticism symmetrically, no? Oh, I mean, I'd rather just, like, actually explain how things work. Yeah, the Discord, it's... Actually, let me try leaving and rejoining. Oh. Wait, no, it didn't work. Okay. Well, we'll figure it out later. All right, let's bring up our next guest. O to the Dizzle. Let's talk to O to the Dizzle.
Hi, how are you?
O to the Dizzle, how's it going?
I'm pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Dizzle, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I believe that it is a flat plane.
Okay. Want to tell me why?
Do you want to choose a topic we discuss?
Yeah, sunsets?
Sunsets?
Mm-hmm.
So, the sun and moon are like clock hands, and when the sun sets, it really shrinks, but we can't see it move down diagonally due to perspective. It's like...
Why?
It's like streetlights.
Does it? Wait, Dizzle, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay, fine. And what year were you born?
2005.
No, you'd be 20, my guy.
Can you please let me stay?
No, sorry. Good catch. Y'all are good catch. All right, let's talk to Lil Tired. Lil Tired's a funny name, by the way. Lil Tired, how's it going? Lil Tired? You there? Lil Tired? All right, Lil Tired's not there. From Silver Slayer with the $5, commercial spaceflight is almost affordable enough where it's not just NASA and SpaceX, but random people. I can't wait for a FLERF to go up in space. Oh, they probably never will. All right, let's talk to Razazel. They call me a little tired because I don't get sleep.
What's up?
Razazel, how's it going?
I'm good. Let's talk about the sunset.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the sunset. How do you make sense of sunsets on a flat Earth?
It never sets on a flat ground.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
It is flat.
Okay, so then why do sunsets happen?
I know it's flat. Sunsets never happen on a flat ground. It sets partially on the ocean.
Right, but like, I've seen sunsets before. Why? What do you mean they never happen?
with your eyes.
Yeah, with my
30 frames per
eyes.
second.
I've seen sunsets with my eyeballs.
Optical zoom in or digital zoom in.
What?
Let's say the eyeballs.
Do you want? I can show you a video of somebody zooming in on a sunset and still seeing. Hold on, please.
I can show you a video with the
please
sun,
don't.
please.
Razazel, we just started. We don't have to get off onto the wrong foot. I can show you a video of somebody using a huge optical zoom to zoom into a sunset, and it still happens. But I've like seen sunsets with my own eyes on land, so I don't know what. What do you mean it doesn't happen?
Your eyes are limited.
Why can't I see the sun when it's 9 p.m.?
I will make you understand. Let's
Okay.
just not play your game and stick to the truth.
Yeah, so why can't I see the sun when it's like 9 p.m.?
9 p.m. where? What time? What season?
In winter.
Where?
In the northern hemisphere.
You don't see that.
Why can't I see the sun?
Well, you already know the answer, even on a flat surface. So
What's the
why
answer?
are you not? All
On a flat surface, what's the answer?
I promise. I will explain that for you. Do you really care about the truth? Or do you already
Yeah,
know it's
I want you to
flat?
answer the question, please.
I will answer the question, yes.
Okay, so do it.
So, yes, I will explain that. Just give me 30 seconds. If
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to explain it.
Yes, if I have my hand on arm's length, can I cover the sun with my hand? I can
Yeah,
do that,
sure.
right?
Sure.
Yes. So in summertime in Lahore, Pakistan, because of the pollution and the humidity in some days, the sun is entirely invisible, even though the lights are visible because of the pollution, because
Sure.
of the humidity. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
So,
So why
20
can't I see the
kilometers
sunset
away,
at 9 p.m.?
I will explain that. Let me and make you understand how it really works.
Can you just explain it rather than talking around it?
No, real math. Let's just stick to real math.
Yes, I just
Because-
want you to explain why I can't see the sunset at 9 p.m. in winter.
9 p.m. in winter,
Yeah.
Northern Hemisphere.
Or either hemisphere, honestly. I've been in both. So why can't I see it
will
at 9
explain.
p.m. in winter? Regardless.
Because the mountain you see in the Alps, because of the humidity, because of the pollution,
What mountain?
light is not endless.
What mountain? What mountain?
In the Alps mountain, if you are
I'm not
standing
in the
20
Alps.
Northern
What do the
Hemisphere.
Alps have? What do the Alps have to do with me me not being able to see
trying to make you
the sunset
understand why
at 9
the
p.m. or
sun-
the sun at 9 p.m.?
I'm trying to make you understand why the sun sets partially on the ocean and never sets, but always fades on land. I'm trying to make you understand how real physics works.
Okay.
Yes.
So what do the Alps have to do with me not being able to see the sun at 9 p.m. in Kansas?
Because the sun is far away.
Okay.
The light is not endless.
So it sounds like you're saying the sun just gets far away. Now,
It gets
if that's what
far
you're
away, yes.
is that what you're saying? So it's just too far to see?
It's too far. Even in a rainy day, the lights are 10,000 times less than.
So then,
in
why is it that, in a very flat place like Kansas, you can just see the sun set below the horizon, and
below the horizon?
it's like it stays like
On the
basically the
ocean?
same
On the
size the
ocean
whole
or
time.
land?
Not on the
Land or
ocean,
on
on
ocean?
land. On land.
On land, and never
Yeah.
really sets on land on a flat surface. It never sets. We have videos on Founded Earth Brothers where the sun
Do
actually
you want me to show
fades
you a
on
video?
the ocean. Now I will show. Let me explain that when you are in California, in Los Angeles, why the sun partially disappears. Because if you have
I'm talking about
waves
on land,
and
though. I'm not talking about on
it doesn't
water.
fade. It doesn't set. It fades.
What do you mean it doesn't set? Do you want me to show you
doesn't
one?
set. It never sets. On a digital zoom in or on an optical zoom in?
Just with a camera.
What camera?
I don't know. Actually, this is a telescope.
Oh, come on, Dr. Blitz. What
D-
game do you want to play? Your
with
game or
like
my
a
game?
telescope? Do we want like with a telescope? Because I can. Well, you probably wouldn't like that because there's trees in the way.
No. Let's just So what problem do you have about sunsets?
What the problem is that you're saying that the sun actually doesn't set on land,
never
which is
sets.
crazy because
Found
I've witnessed
photos on YouTube.
literally every single person on this live stream has seen a sunset on land. Like I see it literally every night.
It doesn't set on land. if it's flat.
It's a crazy. You're right. It wouldn't, but it does. So maybe it's not flat.
Partially, where there is a set on the ocean. If you have waves and tides,
We're not talking about the ocean. We're talking about land. I don't know why you keep bringing up the ocean.
You are not letting me make you understand why.
Well, you keep bringing up the ocean, and I don't know why.
The ocean have waves and tides.
We're not talking about the ocean. We're talking about land.
Oh. So your ceiling, when you're pointing at your ceiling right above you, you point 90 degrees.
Hold on.
And when you are pointing further away at the same height, you are lowering.
This is land.
Land, yes.
Look, a sunset.
On what? There's
land.
a fucking hill right there. There's a hill right there. We can see the hill.
So, okay, so you're telling me that does go lower and it doesn't just get further away?
The things that go further away, they get lower because it's going.
Why isn't it getting smaller?
Like you're standing in front of the car.
Why isn't it getting smaller? Okay, let me go find another video for you.
Yeah. You're standing in front of the SUV car.
You're gonna be like, oh no, it's trees. Oh no, there's grass.
Anything that is closer to you, even grass or waves, 30 meters high, it is bigger than the sun. Objects further away get smaller. No, go ahead. Get your manager. Get your manager. You don't care about the truth.
1 sec.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry about that. There's a scorpion issue.
It's all right.
1 sec. So your contention is that the sun can hide behind grass on land? Is that your contention?
If you have a handful of grass in front of you, right in front of your eyes, does it cover the sun or not?
Look, so if the grass is far away, if it's, off in the distance by the horizon, is your contention that the sun can hide behind the grass?
The sun can actually hide behind the grass if you have the grass right.
How high do you think the sun is?
The height of we don't know that.
Yeah.
We know there's no curvature.
Well, so how high do you think the sun is? Is it 5 miles up? Is it 50,000 miles up? How high is the sun?
We don't know that.
Okay, can you guess?
We are telling what we know. No,
can you guess?
We're not taking any guess. We're not playing your game.
So just to be clear, in order for grass, say, to block the sunset, the sun only ever gets at most like 10,000 miles away or so. Depends on where you are in the world, of course, but like that's 10 to 15,000 miles away is the furthest away the sun is ever going to get. 1 sec.
A grass can cover the entire sun depending of how close the grass is to you. Anything can cover the sun.
Yeah, so if the grass is only a foot or two tall, then like the sun will never cover it, or the sun will never be covered by it. Do you understand trigonometry?
You are insignificant as a human being.
Do you understand trigonometry?
Yes, of course I do understand.
Okay, tell me.
We want to play your game.
Hold on. I just got to ask. Yeah. So let's say that you have a triangle, and the triangle has lengths 3, 4, and 5. Now, what is the tangent of the angle that connects the side of length 5 to the side of length 3?
No, we're not
what is the tangent of that angle?
We are here. No, we are not going to play
your game.
What
is the tangent of that angle? Please.
Because no, we are not going to.
I thought you understood trigonometry.
We are not going to play that
trigonometry.
Game. I can make the sun disappear behind tides and waves on a flat surface.
So I thought you understood trigonometry.
I don't care about you. You're just playing games with me.
It seems like you're struggling.
Tides and waves. If you have 30 meter tides and waves on a surface on ocean level, above the ocean level, the sun can't disappear behind it. The sun always stays on a flat land.
Prove that the sun can disappear. Okay, I want you to prove mathematically that the sun can disappear behind a 30-meter wave. Prove it.
I have seen the sun disappear on a bright daylight in the Middle East. I have been there. I have seen that.
Yeah, we're talking about on a clear day, of course. Of course, we're talking about a clear day.
It disappears on a clear day.
If it's well, like at noon, it's disappearing.
It's disappearing right
at noon. Then it's not a clear day. Then it's not a clear day. That's not what a clear day means.
No.
Do you know what a clear day is? A clear day is when there's no haze.
You just keep throwing questions at me. I'm trying to explain to you.
A clear day means that there's no haze, my guy.
Nah, you're playing your game. I'm trying to explain to you real science and real physics.
It's real science and real physics, and yet you seem confused. You seem confused the whole time.
No. You know it's fucking flat, and you are playing your games
so
with this
salty.
retarded viewer.
My guy, you are so
Angel
salty.
Of Light said hi. Angel of Light said hi.
Cry to your FLERF daddy. Oh, wah,
Let's bring Angel of Light. Let's bring him.
Oh, you're so sad. Oh, my FLERF daddy will destroy you. Oh, poor baby. What a poor guy. Oh, what a little baby.
Fuck you, man.
Oh,
you're just playing your game.
I'm so mad. My daddy, Angel of Light, got wrecked by me, and so now I'm so mad, and I can't prove the Earth is flat because I don't understand sunsets.
You just keep asking questions. You're playing your game. I'm trying to reason with you.
You're not trying to reason with me. You don't know anything about physics. You don't know anything about trigonometry. You don't know anything about suns. Oh, he was flagged for hate speech. All right, let's remove him. What a guy. You know what? It kind of checks out, though, that he's an Angels of Light shill, because Angel of Light also says these dumb things and doesn't actually answer questions or understand anything about the world. So, you know, what a day to be alive. All right, let us read some super chats, and then we will move on to our next guest. From Call Sign Sam with the $2. I demand potato chips. Bring them back. No. From Poopman Jones with the $2. I appreciate you. Hashtag illuminated by the lava lamp. Hashtag ILL. By the way, this person in TikTok says, day 2 of asking to meet with the Elliot argument. He can come up to my live stream whenever he wants. He'd have to unblock me like a brave person rather than being a coward and blocking me when I question him. From Call Me Big 5 with the $10. Hey there, I wanted to know, how do you not freak out at these guys? My parents are flat earthers, and I even showed them Jupiter through my telescope, and they said it was fake. What should I do? They might be long gone. Like, it just depends, right? But it's just a matter of, you have to figure out what it is that got them there, and then you have to discredit that thing. From Very Good Wizard with the $5. I'm just trying to make you understand how real physics works, he says. Absolutely, I know. They tried so hard. From Gretchen with the $13. Danger lurks behind you. There's a stranger out to find you. What to do? Just grab on some DuckTales. Oh, okay, we're doing DuckTales. Well, thank you, Gretchen. I'm not going to sing that. I'm sorry, I don't recognize the DuckTales song. Unless there's music playing, of course. From Christopher Sanford, might be worth getting a video of a sunset from a plane. That's a good idea. But it has to be clear. There can't be any clouds, right? Which, you know, like I've flown a lot, and so I've seen sunsets at night in over clear skies. But I would need like a solar filter video, and I'd have to find one. From Bookie the Cat with the $2. The Scorpion said, get over here. No, we found 2 scorpions in my place recently, so we have a guy coming to spray for them, and he wanted to come in and spray here. From Optopoppet with the $5. 30-meter wave. So there are massive tsunamis with 30-meter waves mid-ocean every day, but somehow these waves don't strike land. Exactly. Yeah, 30-meter waves. Okay, that's compelling. From Mission, or from Miss on 1996 with the $5. If the Earth is flat and the sun circles the Earth in an X and Y axis, why is it equatorial mounts track it using only one axis of rotation? It's a good point, actually. It's a really good point. From Jeremy Nason with the $2. Thank you for sharing the truth, Blitz. Look, I do my best. I'm going to double check, make sure I don't have any missing gifts elsewhere. Someone bought 3 coffees for me with the message, love your content. Well, thank you so much, someone. All right, let's move on to our next guest. Let's talk to All Seen Eye. All Seen Eye, how's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. No.
I'm glad to hear it. Elsie and I, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I don't really know, and then I don't really care.
Why'd you come up?
I just want to ask you a few questions.
No, it's good. If you don't disagree. From Tinky Pixie with the 20 Australian dollars. Thank you so much, Tinky. I appreciate you. And from Call Sign Sam, what do you mean no chip? It's the best rage bait. I haven't had Pringles in a long time. Thank you so much though. Appreciate you. Yeah, also that was probably Angels of Light. Let's talk to Jeremiah Strackbine. Jeremiah, how's it going?
Hello, can you hear me?
Barely. Your mic is really muffled.
Sorry. Just had a couple questions. I do
Still really quiet. Is your microphone perhaps under a pillow?
Hello? Can you hear me better now?
Nope.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask. So, as far as light decay, so if the stars are as far as they are, wouldn't the light decay by the time it reached us? Or
light doesn't decay.
Isn't there something, the square ratio every?
Yeah, but you're talking about the inverse square law. So you still need to speak up. You're really, really quiet. I don't know how it got worse, but
okay. So light never decays. It just
that is no better. Light spreads out. It doesn't decay. But I gotta let you go because the audio is just terrible. All right, let's talk to Morpheus. Morpheus.
Hey,
Morpheus, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Morpheus,
right.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
Well, I'm going to say it's flat, but I want to.
Do you believe it's flat?
I know it is, but I just want to keep this simple because I don't want to get too much into mathematics and abstract theories.
Sure.
Now, here's the thing. I'll give you gravity. We could argue back and forth for days and days on whether gravity exists or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will give you that, okay? So I'll let you own gravity. But here's the question that I do have.
Mm-hmm.
If we accept gravity, I'm going to need you to explain organized containment. For example, if I put water in a plastic cup, it's going to stay flat throughout the day. It's not going to move. That is organized containment.
Yeah.
How do we have that?
Yeah, so look, when you have a fluid, fluids are able to change shape very easily. And so, as I'm sure you're probably aware, physical systems like to minimize their energy, right? They like to be in the lowest energy configuration. And this is for various reasons, but that's the principle that we're working with here. And it turns out that if you had a bumpy shape, that would cost more energy to be in that configuration because you would have some parts of the water that are higher up and would therefore have higher potential energy, higher gravitational potential energy.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out if the Earth is rotating, wouldn't we know that the water, how could the water be flat if the Earth is rotating?
How could the water be flat if the Earth? How are those two things related?
Well, if we're having rotation, we wouldn't have organized containment. We wouldn't have
Why?
Organized because the water would not be level in a cup.
Why not?
It would be moving around.
Why?
We wouldn't have stability.
Why would we think that? Do you know how slowly the Earth rotates?
Well, it's going about 1,000 miles an hour rotating.
It rotates once a day.
Yes, at about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator.
Right, which is like wildly slow for something as big as the Earth.
Well, that's pretty fast, but regardless...
No, it's really, really slow. So the thing that affects... What you're talking about, by the way, what you're talking... actually, we need to back up just a little bit. Even if the Earth were spinning wildly fast, that wouldn't change the shape of water in a cup. It would only change the shape of water in a cup. It would only make it slosh around if the rate of rotation was changing.
I understand, but we notice we can.
So then the speed is
does not go
irrelevant.
rotation does not go by relativity. You can always.
That's irrelevant for the claim I just made. I never said that rotation is relative. The point is changing the shape of the water. That would require a changing rotational rate, right?
I didn't say that changing the shape. I'm talking about a perfectly level set of water.
So why would it rotating affect the shape of the water in the cup?
It's not.
What's the physical principle? No, I'm asking if the Earth were rotating, why would that affect the level or the shape of the water in the cup?
The shape of the water would be washing around, so it would not be level.
What principle do you think would make that happen?
Because the principle of the Earth is not moving. That's why.
That's not a principle. Look, you're not answering my question. You're not really engaging in good faith here. The point is what do you what is it about the Earth rotating that you think would make the water slosh?
Because it's going in a rotational circle.
Why would that make the water slosh?
Because the water is not moving at all. It is stationary.
That doesn't answer. Why would the Earth moving in a circle make the water slosh?
It's movement. That's why.
Why would movement in a circle make the water slosh?
Movement affects things inside of whatever it's in.
Have you ever been in an airplane?
I understand the airplane, but if the airplane were to turn upside down, the water would spill out.
Look, if the airplane changed its orientation, if it's originally in some orientation, and then it suddenly changes its orientation, like if it turns, then yeah, then the water will be affected. But if its orientation is the same the whole time, even if it's if its orientation is the same the whole time, and relative to gravity, the orientation of the water in the cup is the same the whole time, what's going to cause the water to slosh around?
Guys, the Earth is rotating. You cannot have stationary water in something that is rotating. It's just that simple. There's no.
You keep saying that, but you're not actually giving a reason, like an explanation as to why that's the case. No, you're not giving an explanation as to why it would be the case that the water should slosh around if the Earth were rotating.
The Earth is moving. It affects whatever's in it.
Things moving don't necessarily affect the shape of water in a cup.
If we have an earthquake, we know we have an earthquake.
Right. Let's think about the earthquake. So the earthquake causes what to happen? It causes things that weren't moving to suddenly start moving, right?
We know that, yes.
And so it's the change of motion that's causing the shape of the water to change.
That's still movement regardless.
It's the change of the motion. It's not the motion itself.
If you are spinning around
acceleration.
In a circle, I would guarantee you cannot put anything level in a cup.
You know what? Let me actually give you an example. And actually, I'm sure you did this as a kid. Did you ever take like a bucket of water and then just spin it around to like keep the water in? Yes. Why did the water stay relatively flat the whole time in the water bucket?
It's not, because you're inflicting ideal conditions. You still have to deal with wind.
What do you mean? What are we talking about? Okay, so it's not the rotation that would change the shape then, right?
It is the rotation. You cannot have the way the Earth is spinning up and down in a rotation. You're not going to have level water. It's just that simple.
Okay, so it's not. Is it the rotation or is it the wind?
It's both. It's everything.
Okay, so the wind relative to what? Because it's definitely not the rotation, because I just gave you an example showing you that it's not the rotation.
If the Earth is going one direction and going back down again, that is, you're not.
What do you mean? What's going back down?
The rotation of the Earth.
What do you mean going back down?
The Earth is a ball, so it's going to go up in one direction and go back down.
Down is towards the middle.
There is no down in space, but what I am saying
is that towards the middle. I don't know if you know this. Do you know that?
Have a circular motion of water in a cup and still have cup level with water.
What? I did not understand that sentence. Do you want to try that again?
A level cup of water in a cup if the Earth is moving.
You keep saying that, but you're not justifying it.
But what I'm saying is that there is no mathematical formula on your side. No, there isn't.
Yeah, there is. Actually, do you want me to show you the formulas? Because I can show you the formulas. Yeah, let me show it to you. 1 sec, let me pull it up. So the relevant mathematical formula is this one.
Explain how you have flat water in a cup.
Yeah, so this is the relevant mathematical formula. Can you see it? It's that one that has F.
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
so F prime, that is the force that the water is going to feel. F is any force that we're like actively applying to it. So if it's just sitting on the table, that F is 0, right? Now M is the mass of the water.
No, well, hold on. You said it's just sitting on the table, but how could it just be sitting on the table? You're not explaining that.
No. I mean, like in your mind, I want you to just visualize a cup sitting on the table. Now it's going to be just sitting on a table on a rotating Earth, but it's just sitting there. We're not like pushing on it with our fingers. We're not like moving it around with a magnet or what. We're like, it's just sitting there. There's no external forces except the Earth's motion, right? That's the only thing that's going to be causing forces here.
I understand it.
Okay.
You're still not explaining.
So F prime is what we're trying to find. F is 0. And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's also going to contribute to the motion. So we need to, so this first term, M is the mass of the water. This d omega dt, that's the rate of change of the speed of rotation of the Earth. Now the Earth's rotation speed doesn't change, so that term is 0. Then we have 2 more terms. We have this term here is the Coriolis effect term. So we have 2m omega cross v prime. V prime is the speed of the water relative to the surface of the Earth. Now it's just sitting on a table. It's not moving relative to the surface of the Earth. So that term is also 0. So we're only left with a single extra term here. This is the centrifugal force. Now this we have to figure out what direction it's in. So we have r prime here. That is that's a vector that points from the axis of rotation. Points from the axis of rotation to the water. So imagine that you're on the equator, then it's just from the center of the Earth to the water at the equator. And so maybe I'll draw a diagram. Yeah, let me draw a diagram. Because we have to study that last term.
What line is this, guys? If you get inside
you're running away. You're running away from the math formula that you said didn't exist. Okay, then let's talk about it. Bottom line is this, my guy. Let's just do it. So you have your water, you have your Earth, right? And we're gonna put our cup like right here, right? It's obviously not to scale, but you get the picture, right? And we'll fill it up. Well, this is the thing that we're trying to study.
How's that cup even sitting level on a ball? It's not even level. You have the cup not even touching the circle.
Okay, that's just my bad.
All right.
It's sitting on a table, right?
Well, you can say that. I would like to see it sit on a table flat. Oh, okay. Well,
there we go. Right. Okay. So
it's perfect, right?
Right. Okay. So now we're going to put a little water level. Let's make this a little bit smaller.
Still not level, but okay.
Okay. So here's our water, right?
Okay. Go ahead.
Here's our water. There's our water. So we want to know what is the vector that points.
Now you see what you just did, though, right?
So we have please. You're currently learning something, so I would suggest that you pay attention.
Now, what direction is that water? Is it straight up? Is it to the side? What direction is it?
That's what we would call level, right?
Okay, so it's level, even though the water's to the side of the Earth.
Yeah.
So the water.
Yeah, you got it.
So the water's not going to spill out.
Yeah, no, it won't, because gravity is pointing towards the center, right? Actually, there is a gravitational force. I shouldn't say that there's no force here. F isn't 0. There's a gravitational force downwards and a normal force upwards, but those cancel out. So we're only looking at the effects of the rotation.
Right. What you did with the water versus the land. The land is curving, but not the water. You see what you just did?
I'm sorry, does this look curved to you? I could make it to scale if you want. You wouldn't notice it's curved. Anyway, we're gonna keep going this. I'm not gonna let you deflect away from the math that you're afraid of. So this is the vector that points, this is that r prime vector. It's an arrow that points from the center to the water, right? Now that's the r prime in this part of the formula, right? Now we need to take the cross product of r prime with omega. Omega is a vector that points along the axis of rotation. So omega points in this direction. Omega, let's do it in, I don't know, orange. Omega points in this direction. That's the axis of rotation, right? So we have 2 vectors. Now we want to take their cross product. Their cross product is here. That's this bit in parentheses. we want to take their cross product. And so what the cross product means is that you multiply the lengths of the vectors, and then you, if they're perpendicular to each other, which they are in this case, you multiply the lengths, and then the resulting vector uses the right hand rule. So you stick your right hand in the direction of the first vector. In this case, it's omega. Let me pull up the diagram so you can see this.
How many vectors do you have on a circle?
I don't think you know what a vector is. We'll get through this and then I'll explain. So you point your hand in the direction of omega, and then you curl your hand in the direction of the second vector in R, and your thumb will point in the direction of the third vector. So in this case, the vector is actually kind of pointing out. I'm trying my best to draw something pointing out. It's hard to do. And then what we're going to do, so now we have a vector that's pointing out, right? I guess it's this way for you guys. It's pointing out. And then you have to do another cross product. You have to take omega cross that. So this is, for me, I stick my hand in the direction of omega, and then I curl it in the direction of that it's pointing in. And so then it will be pointing to my right. So the resulting vector, we're almost done, I promise. The resulting vector from the centripetal acceleration points in this direction. Oh, I shouldn't use blue. It points in this direction. So the only force on the water that's not the only force on the water from the rotation of the Earth is up. That's all it does. It doesn't make it slosh side to side. It only makes its way slightly less. It's the only force present.
You saw that cup you just put on the circle? What would happen if you put a cup on the whole circle? What would happen to the cup? Would you able
I don't know what a cup on the whole circle means. Like you could have many different cups in many different places.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is put another cup next to them. They're all going to eventually have to curve, which water does not.
So to be clear, it sounds like you want to deflect away, and you're like, we don't see curvature. But first, I was just proving to you that
I was drawing against you.
I was just proving to you, and we can talk about that in a minute. But I was just proving to you that from the formula that we use for the forces that are a result of rotational motion, which is this formula here. From this formula, we can show that the only force that the rotation applies to the cup, to the water in the cup, is that it makes the water weigh slightly less because it points away from the center. It points, upwards rather than pointing downwards. So there's slightly less gravitational pull pulling it down because of the rotation. That's the only thing. There's no force that would make it slosh left to right as a result of the rotation.
But if you were to put a bunch of cups around that circle...
Okay, can you address what I said before you pivot again?
No, I hear you. But you're not going to
So can you admit that the rotation of the Earth wouldn't cause the water to slosh back and forth?
The rotation of the Earth is moving. It's going around in a circle.
Can we agree that we just worked out the formula, using the formula to work out what the direction of the force is on the water in the cup, and it does not make it slosh back and forth? Can we agree on that?
You can make it work out on paper, but you can't make it work out in reality.
Oh, okay. So are you telling me this formula is wrong?
You can make it work out on paper all day long.
The formula is a formula about reality. So are you telling me that the formula is not correct? It's not really about reality?
Put a bunch of cups on that circle and see what happens. You're not going to do it.
Stop deflecting. The question is, do you admit that the net force on the object from the rotational motion has nothing to do with making the water slosh left and right?
It works perfectly well on paper. I'll agree with you.
Okay. I'm glad that we're in agreement. Now, if you want to see what this looks like to scale, we can do that. This is obviously not to scale. If you want me to show you what the Earth looks like to scale, I can do that for you though, and then we can put some water cups on it, okay? Because right now this cup is like 100 miles across, right?
Guys, there's a reason why they have sea level, right? Sea level.
I can't believe that you're pivoting to that. This is so embarrassing for you when you get blown out on the Coriolis effect and on centrifugal force. Now you're pivoting to but sea level, not sea round.
Put cups around that level, around the circle. Like
okay, but first I should draw it to scale, right?
It's not going to work out.
Should I first draw it to scale? Do you think that that's relevant?
It doesn't matter. It's not going to work out.
It does. Well, look, I mean, clearly,
your drawings are not matching your math.
The drawing was not to scale. I didn't need the drawing to match the math because I was just using it to illustrate it to you. I could have done that whole calculation.
It's not to scale. I get it.
I could have done that whole calculation in my head without drawing anything, but I know that that's not as easy for everybody. So I was giving you a diagram, a not to scale diagram, to illustrate what's going on. That's why. So if you want me to draw one that's accurate to scale, I can, but you're going to be really, really bummed out.
Put a few of those cups next to each other on that drawing and see what happens.
Here, one sec. Let me do something for you.
It's not going to work out.
It'll work out, I promise.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
All right. I'm gonna draw to scale. It's actually not even to scale, but it'll be perhaps close. Oops.
Without messing up the graphic on the circle, you can't do it.
All right, here we go. Here, I've done it. I've drawn it to scale, and so now we're gonna put a little water cup. Oops. Here's the little water cup, right? And we'll put another one next to it for good measure. We'll put another one next to it for good measure.
Spread them out a little bit more. You're still on the same. You see how it's starting to bend down?
Yeah, but see how like it's the same angle here? So if you want to know how big these water cups are, these water cups are several thousand feet across to scale.
Guys, you can't put a water cup that's level with the cup on a curve. You just can't do it.
Do you think that like you can't put a table on a curve on like a
But the cup is
Wait a minute, hold on. Are you Morpheus?
Size,
are you like I can't tell. Are you this dumb, or do you think that you can't put a cup on like a hill?
You can put a cup on the hill, but it's not going to be even. If the surface is not even, you're not going to have it level in the cup. The cup in the leveling is going to be off. You can still put it in the cup, but the leveling is going to be off. That's why we level things. That's why we have leveling equipment. Guys,
what do you think level means here?
If you hang up a picture, you still have to have it level.
If you hang up a picture, you still have to have it level.
If you want it to have it be correct with what you're trying to do, yes.
Do you know what tangent means?
Guys, you can still put something in a cup. I'm not
do you know
arguing.
do you know what tangent means?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you tell me what it means?
Guys, it's just a straight line as it goes off the cliff of a curve. But that's not the point, guys. You cannot put.
So you can
water in a
always
cup.
put something so that it's tangent to a curved surface. You can always do that.
You can, but you would have to adjust the alignment to make it work.
No,
A
not as
cup
long as it's
doesn't do
tangent.
that.
If it's tangent, then it's tangent. There's nothing to adjust.
Guys, a cup doesn't change size.
Who are you
It's
talking
gonna be
to?
a
Are you
cup.
talking to me? Am I multiple people?
I'm talking to you.
Okay,
Yes.
so then why are you calling me
A cup
guys?
doesn't change. Excuse me. I'm trying to explain this. A cup doesn't change its size. It doesn't change
You're
its
right. A
diameter.
cup doesn't change its size, but you can still put it tangent to a surface.
You can, but I'm talking about when it comes to liquid, a cup and the water is going to adjust according to the curve of the earth and the rotation. It's just that
Why?
simple. You cannot have.
To be clear, the rotation we've already established, and you've already agreed that it works. The rotation won't affect the shape of the water in the cup. You've already agreed to that. So I'd suggest you stop bringing that up.
But
your second contention is that
line
you just can't put something that is you just can't put something that's, you know, has a flat bottom on a curved surface. But I think that you'll find that the cups that we have are not as flat in the bottom as you think they are.
But guys, all I'm trying to tell you is if the table is crooked, the water in the cup is not going to be flat.
Why would the table be crooked?
I'm just saying, if the table is crooked, the water
Why would
in
the table be
cup
crooked
not-
though?
Because the Earth is a ball. It is not
Why
flat.
would the table be crooked though?
But I'm giving you an example so you can idea what I'm trying to talk about. You cannot put something flat in a cup that's level if the surface is not level.
So to be clear, I mean technically you're
just so
correct.
simple.
Fortunately, tables have legs and they're not like you can put a
Yes, but
table
if
on a curved surface, right?
But even if the table, if it's not level, your water in the cup is not.
You can always put a table on a curved surface. If it has 3 legs, you can always put a table on a curved surface.
Yes,
By the way,
but
just so
it
you know,
wouldn't be level. It wouldn't be level if the legs
it sure
are not
can.
connected to
It sure can. Here, look. Okay, so I've actually made like to scale the Earth, or at least half the Earth anyway.
Why are you
Can you see
trying
this?
to make this so complicated?
Well, I'm not. This isn't complicated. It might just seem that way.
I'm just saying something that's simple, and you're trying to pull
Yeah,
out
we
a
are doing simple stuff.
booklet.
Look, so each so see that 1, see that 2, see that 3. Those are like feet, right? So like, I wish I could draw. I wish I could draw in this. I guess I technically can. I'll just have to be a little bit careful. X equals -1, and then I want from x from like 0 to 2. I don't know how to use Desmos. Okay, I don't know how to use Desmos. You're gonna have to imagine a table, right? Imagine that there's a table here. It's like a few feet tall, right? Okay, hold on. I can figure this out. I can figure out Desmos. Let me just Google something really quick so that I can be helpful. Plot vertical line in line segment in Desmos. Okay, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out together. Okay, I can use t. Okay, that's great. I can use parametric form. Okay, so we have x equals t. Or we want t and -1, and we'll go from, no, we want -1 and t, and we'll have t. There we go. Okay, we're getting there. I'm drawing a table here. We'll have 1t, and this will go from 0 to 1. I'm drawing a table that's like a foot tall, by the way. And then we will have t and 1, and this will go from -1 to -1. Okay, see, we have a table. We drew a table. Got it? We have a table?
It's on a flat ground, though.
Is it?
Well, according to you, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but what?
Is it really on a flat ground? Oh no, it's not.
Well,
it's actually on a hemisphere.
The way you drew the Earth. The way
No, this is just a sphere, my guy.
Guys, you can do whatever you want.
So wait a minute, is it actually on flat ground or no?
It's according to this, with this right here, it is flat.
Oh, is it?
If there's no directional degrees,
but it's curved.
But
I'm zooming out. Look how curved it is.
You can make it wobble or do whatever you want.
This is a perfect sphere. I've drawn a perfect sphere here.
Now
by the way,
put that table down to the side. Put it down to the side.
Okay, it might take a sec. It might take a sec.
Exactly. You won't do that. Put it.
I'm going to. We're going to. I'm gonna put it.
No,
I'm gonna
putting it right at the corners of the circle.
That's because it's easier.
No, put it.
You realize that I have to figure out a math formula for every single location, right?
You're doing it at the easiest points of the circle.
You realize I have to work out a math formula for every single location, and so it'll take some time. I can do it. I can do it if you want, but it'll take some time.
Yeah, do it right there. Do it right there.
Okay, I got to zoom in so I can actually figure out what the locations are. So actually, there might be let me get out a notebook and work out a calculation really quick.
Exactly. You see how hard that got? You can't.
You're asking like, this is not merely drawing. This is a graphing calculator, which means that I have to work out a formula for every single thing that you want me to draw.
Well, I don't want you to do that.
Then why are you asking me to do it?
Because it's useless. The Earth is flat.
Look, so hold on. Let's not be stupid here, okay?
Look at that.
Let's not be stupid.
You could play the game with that little thing right there, but you can't play the game on the other sides of the circle.
So look, here's the table. I can go, oh, it still looks flat. It still looks flat even though I'm moving. Now I'm 1,000 feet away and it still looks flat. I'm 1,000 feet away. Now I'm 2,000 feet away and it still looks flat.
You can play all the games.
Oh, we're starting to see a slight deviation. See that slight deviation? But like, it's gonna look flat like the whole way through. Does this look like a straight line to you? The red bit? Does that look like a straight line to you? The red bit?
It doesn't matter, guys. That you cannot put.
Why can't you answer the question? Just be honest.
Water's gonna know regardless of whatever the hell we both think. That's all I'm saying.
The point is the water doesn't care about the shape of the Earth. It'll just equalize. That's all it's doing. It's just equalizing to be in the lowest energy configuration.
There's no equalizing. It would equalize, but it still doesn't make organized containment. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it does. I understand that you're confused about this, but like, it absolutely would.
You can't. That's all I'm saying. It was just a simple thing I wanted to bring up, and that's
it's a simple thing. Look, you're right. This is like wildly simple physics and wildly simple mathematics. But like, have you taken trigonometry?
It's been a long time.
I'll grant that. Like,
but
why? Like, you understand that this is simple. The explanation for how this works is simple, but you're not understanding it.
But you can't have something that's in a cup perfectly on something that's not level. That's all I'm saying.
We literally. Okay, so do you agree? Is this circle level?
Man.
Is this circle level?
You keep pointing to the top.
Is the circle level?
Go to the other sides of the circle and then do that. You can't do it.
Okay, I will do it. Hold on, I'll work out the calculations for you. Okay, so we want a line segment that is. We're gonna do it. Don't worry, we're gonna do it. So this is a 45 degrees. We just have to rotate our entire set of equations by 45 degrees. Okay, so that means that we had a what were our equations that we have? We have -1 and t. Also, it's shifted, so I'll have to shift up and then rotate, but that's fine. So we have -1 and t plus r. -1 and t plus r. Yeah, okay. And then we have 1 and t plus r. And then we have t and 1. And so we just have to apply a transformation matrix to that, and it should work. Let me pull out a calculator so we can apply the transformation matrices. We want to rotate it clockwise, so that's going to be a -45 degree angle. Okay, so we have cosine of -45 degrees. One sec. Oops. Okay, so we have cosine of 45 degrees. We have minus sine of 45 degrees. That's actually pi over 6. So we want pi over 6, and then we have sine of pi over 6, and then we have cosine of pi over 6 again. And so we want to multiply that as a vector by, we want 2 rows. We want to multiply that by -1 and t plus r. So our location, oh, and I actually need to, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, that's right. So I need to evaluate that. So I'm gonna put our first leg. This should be, oh, and then I have to subtract off the right thing, so I have to subtract off r. So we have minus square root. Can you guys see this calculation that I'm doing? Probably not. Let's move this over, just so then people can enjoy. So we have minus 0.866 minus 0.5 times t minus 0.5 times 4,000 times 5,280, comma. Then we have minus, oh, did we rotate in the wrong direction? Yeah, we might have to, we may have rotated in the wrong direction. So we'll go look at the other bit in a sec. And then we have minus 0.5, 0.866, or plus 0.866 times t plus 0.866 times 4,000 times 5,280. Now, if I did this right, this should stick a little tiny thing out of it exactly at 45 degrees. Now I have to go find it. I think that there's a way to zoom on a particular chunk without actually like finding it manually. Should be like around here, because one sec. R equals 4,000 times. I just need to get the coordinates. Coordinates should be minus we want minus 1.05 times 10 to the 7th. And then we want that plus, I don't know, like 4. Plus 5. Step should be 1. And then we want our other coordinate should be minus 2.82829 times 10 to the 6th. And then we want that same thing times that plus 5. And if we're lucky, I did everything right. Oh, I went to the wrong look. Morpheus, why do I keep getting people who are reporting these people? I just got a live, like a live flag. Let's see if we can actually find this point that I just added. Oh, I was a little bit too low. Yeah, I'd have to be a little bit more careful. And I don't know Desmos very well. But the thing that you would want to do if you actually wanted to work this out is you would take your parametric equations, which is what I did, and then you would rotate them by 45 degrees. And then after you're done rotating them by 45 degrees, then you would have to displace it up because this is a circle right now. Maybe I'll just show you the diagram. So we want to displace our table upwards. So currently our table is here, right? It's at 0, 0. The coordinates are at 0, 0. But we want to displace that whole thing up by the radius of the circle. Then we want to rotate the whole thing over by 45 degrees, and then we want to lower it back down again. That's the plan. But I may have punched in the numbers wrong, so I'll have to look at the calculation again. We did the rotation correctly. That should be fine. Yeah, that should have worked, and then I should have been able to just subtract it back down to get the new coordinates. Yeah, I don't know where the table is. It's somewhere, but I don't know where the table is. And so actually zooming in and finding it is tricky. But anyway, he's gone, so I don't think it's super relevant. And you guys can absolutely play with this on your own. The website's called Desmos, which is a fun website. I just wish that there was like a way to zoom in on a particular part of a graph, but I don't know how to do that. So, you guys know how to do that? Pi over 6 is 30 degrees. You're right, pi over 6 is 30 degrees. It would have worked, but you're right. I should have used pi over 4. You're right. In the heat of the moment, we forgot that pi over 6 is 30 degrees. But I mean, it should have worked anyway. Because the calculation I was relying on was all consistent, and it was punching out the positions for pi over 6 is what I was using. All right, well, anyway, let's read some super chats. We will move on. From Optopoppet, with the $5, here's an additional $5 for being the first streamer to actually pronounce my handle correctly. Well, I'm glad I could do that for you. The precision of square root of 2, square root of 3 over 2 is too low. Yeah, that's probably true. From Lou Essay with the $2, what's your opinion on Buddhism and meditation? I mean, look, do it if it makes you, if it improves your life, do it. From Call Sign Sam with the $2, I will literally Uber Eats a can of Pringles to you. I don't think you need to do that. It's fine. From Amy Hayes with the $2, you hear that? Blitz owns Gravity. It's his now. I do own Gravity. It's true. I am the owner of Gravity, actually. I am the rightful owner of Gravity. And from a Dwayne Warren with the $5, objects don't sit on space like resting on a surface. They change the shape of the space itself. Gravity is just how things move through that change. It's not quite that simple. From JSS Tiger with the $5, I can balance a smartphone on Yoga Ball. Yeah, exactly, right? From Literally Lou with the $10 Australian. Thank you so much, Lou. As always, appreciate the entertainment, Blitzy. I do my best. And from Nike N with the 5 Canuck bucks, Collar is unburdened by the complications of an education. Is that a polite way of putting it? Yeah, you could put it that way. From Furtive Patal with the $2, taking a shot every time I hear guys. Oh, you'd be wasted. From Gretchen with the $3, bad Blitzy, cheating with the corners of the circle. Yeah, circles famously having corners, by the way. From JSS Tiger with the $5, scary maths, there's a tangent line, run. Yeah, right? It's math is the fear factor for flat earthers. From Mission with the $5, Earth is really, really big, cup very, very small. For all practical purposes, the Earth is flat for the cup. Yeah, that's the idea. That's what I was trying to illustrate, but there's not enough precision in this app. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, that just brings me home. There's got to be a way to get to that specific location. I'll figure it out later. From Lazy Wagon with the 2 Canuck bucks, guess logic, humans and trees are flat/level. I guess they are. I guess that is the claim. From Fleckboy with the $5, I think his problem is he doesn't understand gravity and the scale of what is going on. Yeah, the Desmos experiment, by the way, or not experiment, the Desmos demonstration that just shows how big the Earth is, how much you have to zoom out before you see the curvature of the Earth, it just blows their minds. From Casey Leia with the $2, tuition for the math class, W Prof Blitz, A+, please. You can have an A+. From Austin Clegg with the 15 shekels, I'm always left speechless that some people can't even understand scale enough to realize that curves can appear flat if you're zoomed in enough. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. That's the hardest part for the flat earther. From ZMB Pop with the $2, is the Earth not shaped as the Batman symbol? No, it is not. And from Blonde Nightmare with the $5, here's my favorite math joke. I'm a math teacher. What do circles and beaches have in common? They both have tangents. Oh, tangents. I get it. That is actually good though. I do like that. Right. So if you don't know, you guys should remember to join the Discord server. There's got to be. Hold on. There's got to be a way to like zoom to. Oh, what if I did a logarithmic plot? Oh, that's so good. Oh no, then I can't do the negative. Oops. Yeah, then I can't do the negative side. But I could just put a plus everywhere here. And I should be able to find it. No, okay, maybe not. Oops. What am I doing? I want it. Oh, wait, hold on. What if I do that? Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, never mind. I was just fiddling with it. My bad. Right, just rotate the semicircle. Well, so what I was doing is I was rotating the location of the table because I wanted to keep the... Like, I could rotate the semicircle, but that wouldn't really help me here, right? Because the point is he wanted the table in 2 different locations, and like the semicircle, it doesn't matter if it's rotated, right? Is that a lace front? No, it's just a shirt. From Joshua Brown with the $2, who is Eratosthenes? Eratosthenes was an ancient Greek astronomer and mathematician who measured the size of the Earth. From Nope with the $2, AutoCAD or Google Sketch, and you can just rotate. Yeah, but I needed it to be to scale, and that's the point. And that's tricky. Maybe I'm sure AutoCAD can do it, but I don't know if Google Sketch can. From Tim Davidson with the $5, the new Pope is also a mathematician, which means not only does he understand sin, he understands costs. That's funny. That's good. That's a good one. Is that a lace front? Oh. A lace front? Oh, no, this is just hair. It's just hair, right? I don't even know stuff about wigs. The FBS Cameron with the 5 Canuck bucks. The fundamental parts of an atom are the proton, neutron, and electron, whereas the fundamental parts of a light salad are a photon and a crouton. From Eric S. with the $5, fire breaks out in hotel. Mathematician runs into the hallway, sees extinguisher, and goes back to bed secure in the knowledge that the solution exists. That's a very, that's absolutely a very, very mathematician thing to do. Be like, yep, solution exists, don't need to solve it. From I'm Not Eddie with the $5, if you went back in time, what physicist would you want to meet the most? Secondly, which one do you think you would get along with most? Love your vids. Probably, maybe Albert Einstein. That'd probably just be the best, right? Because he's the GOAT. Like, he's just the GOAT. I don't know who I'd get along with best, though. I mean, Einstein was allegedly pretty personable. From Tehran Taha Ali with the 110 TRY. I don't know what that is. You can use GeoGebra calculator. It's easier to draw. Really? Okay. Let's go to GeoGebra. Start calculator. Let's see. So if I take all of my plots, so square root of, okay, I've been nerd sniped now. Sorry, y'all. Times 5,280 to squared minus x squared. This is y equals, that should be, and then I want to subtract off 4,000 times 5,280. And then if I also add a table, so what was the table formula that I was using? If I just do t and 1, t1, and then how do I do ranges? Settings? Advanced algebra, equation, parametric form. No, input form? I don't know how to add. I don't know how to add a range. I could just do it piecewise. T or -1 less than t less than 1. Does that work? I'd have to learn these tools. Sorry, I don't know them. From Dalknor with the $2, TI-85 would have never failed you like Desmos. It never would have. It never would have. And from McClendon BRB with the $5. Thank you so much. I'm an idiot and you make complete sense. I don't understand how they don't understand. Just found your chat and I love it. People out there are nuts. Indeed, people out there are nuts. It's kind of crazy, right? But the point is like, all you got to do is just learn a little bit of algebra, right? Like that's all it is. Algebra, a little bit of geometry, a little bit of trigonometry. And I get, look, not everybody, like that was a long time ago for a lot of people, not everybody did great in those. But like then they shouldn't be making arguments about geometry if they clearly don't understand them. That's the issue. From DD with the $2, tell these guys to read Flatland. Oh, that would just convince them even more, right? All right, y'all. It is 11:53 and I am starving. So I think that means that, I think that means that we should probably end it here. Before I go, if you are 18 years or older, make sure to join the Discord server. Go to discord.gg/drblitz or Dr. Blitz. It's pretty easy to type in. You can join the Discord server. Oh, I didn't check Cash App. Good call. You can join the Discord server that way, and then you can talk with like-minded people. You can get announcements from me about when I'm live and things like that. You can get announcements when I put out videos, when I'm on other people's lives. You can talk with, if you're on TikTok, you can talk with the YouTubers and vice versa. So it's a good place to be. We have one more super chat from a Barnabas with the $5. Got in late. Was Morpheus saying water isn't level? I make decks and we use water level all the time. No, he was just confused about other stuff. Anyway, the other thing is that if you want to support my live stream, which you absolutely don't have to do, but if you want to support my live stream, consider becoming a member on YouTube. It's like $4 or $5 a month. You can either become a member on the @BlitzPhD account or the @DrBlitzDebunks account. If you do that, you get emojis, you support me. It's like, it's like a Patreon thing. And you also get access to my debate notes, which is a cool thing to do if you ever need these notes, like on Flat Earth or on theism or on Young Earth. They're useful sources if you need to like ever talk to like a family member or something. Of course, no obligation, but if it's something that you want, by all means. Anyway, I'm going to end the live stream here, but I will see you guys tomorrow for another debate. Take care, everybody.